All right, here we are, right on time for the the Monday evening stream. Not to be confused with the daytime stream. All right, what should we call today's stream? Well, let's see. Pricing up fresh tag slab return, and then we should also say hot mew break because that's true. It's a hot mew break, and then also I'd probably say fresh jumbo pack break. We do the breaks. Lots of breaks over here. Welcome, guys, to the evening stream. It's 4:30 where I am. That means it's 2:30 in California. All right. I'm going to go over here and make sure that it gets pinged as well here. We're live for Monday evening. All right. Good. That's done. All right. I think we can close these eBay things. We don't need those open. And then we're going to close this real fast. Let's open this. Let's grab a link to our website. I like to set up the stream after we've gone live. Hope you guys are having a great day today. It's Monday. How's the weekend already over? That was really fast. I feel like the weekend went by blazingly fast. We're already almost halfway done with January. How? Like, man, I just turned around. It was over. Man, the time flies. All right, that's why we like to spend some time having fun. Pokemon card opening is our version of fun. Let's see. Taking a look at this. All right, cool. Just looking around, seeing if I got any interesting messages to answer. I don't think I do. I'm sorry, I'm very bad at answering messages. Let's see. December 19th is when he paid for grading. So Michael's asking about grading. He sent a grade on December 19th. So now let me go over here to the submission channel. That to me sounds like it's probably just not done yet. I'm in the middle of a fresh round of submissions. I'm always in the middle of a fresh round of submissions. So the last submission went out on 12/7. All right. So that answers that. All right. Okay, there we go. And then let's see what Mr. I don't remember his name. Well, I know his Discord name, but he goes by a different name in chat. Let's see. He says, "Oh, okay, dang, if we send for shipping, can you send a PSA vault for us if willing to pay extra?" Oh, you want me to include your stuff in my PSA vault? I mean, that's possible. We'd have to keep track of it over here, I suppose. That could be pretty useful for people who are international, I suppose. All right, then you'd have to trust me, too. You'd have to trust me to hold on to your stuff and then give it back to you. Probably it'd be better to have a contract for something like, especially if it's an expensive slab, not just some cheap slab. It would be better to have a contract for a situation like that. Let's see. Let's hit refresh over here. What do we got over here? Okay, and let me check over here. I'm hitting refresh on this. I like to look around a little bit before we go live. Let's see. All right, good. So we are definitely in a time period where we are in between sets. People have had their fill of Mega Dream for the most part, and now people are probably just waiting for Ascended Heroes. But while we are waiting, there's still some things you can have fun with. In particular, breaks, vintage. I like vintage. Vintage is fun any time of the year, at any point. Let me go ahead and grab this. We're going to turn on our chat section now, so I can actually see your chats. Clicking on this. We got 23 people watching within the first 4 minutes. How's it going, everybody? It's a pretty normal amount. I'm all dirty, man. I was working on, there are these giant tree trunks that fell down in our yard. They're from a dead tree, and they're kind of on the far side of our yard. And so over the weekend, we have been hand sawing them and dragging them all the way over to our fire burn pile. And then the last 2 days, we've been burning through them, and they're almost gone. It's like magic. The fire just burns completely through the log, and then the log is gone. But a good one so far. How about you, Tyler? Yo. I just bought a couple cases myself of Ascended Heroes. What'll it do? Do. Hey, Rescindas. I like that Zard, but COL is too damn high to just justify buying an expensive slab. Which Zard? Let's see. Did I pin that website? Did I pin it? Yeah, I pinned it. Okay, good. Same thing, different day, but still alive. Hey, what's up, Mr. Tyler? All right. So I was just enjoying TikTok. Boy, I watch a lot of TikTok. Did you know that? I watch Instagram. I think Instagram's the second one I watch the most. Instagram. Instagram is where I go and I subscribe to some Pokemon stuff. And then TikTok is the news. I get the news and I get takes on the news so fast on TikTok. I love it. All right. By the way, who owns TikTok now? Is that a U.S. company now? Does the U.S. own TikTok? I don't know. What did they ever agree to on that? It never got shut down. Let me look it up. Who owns TikTok? You know, it's kind of a quiet thing. So TikTok is owned by ByteDance, but U.S. operations are spun off into a joint venture controlled by American investors Oracle, Silver Lake, and MGX, following a deal with the Trump administration to prevent a ban. ByteDance will retain a minority stake, with the majority of the new company majority owned by these U.S. investors, with a diverse board overseeing it. Okay, weird. I guess the United States part of the software is owned by U.S. investors. I don't know. It's very interesting. I wonder how much money the original stocks sold for when those were purchased. Somebody probably became a multi-billionaire at that time period. Emilio says, Charizard. All right, so we got a lot of slabs back from tag, but also we're doing our rotation. We just have tons of slabs right now. We are overloaded with slabs. That means low prices and fast sales. Let me have a sip here. It's so weird. It's like I don't drink anything all day, and then when I go live, I just chug. All right. Maybe my body's gotten used to like that as a cycle. Here's a top-tier card. Man, if you guys don't want this, I'll send this off to I'll send this off to eBay. Let me show you some. I sold some more cards on eBay. I got to show you guys this. I know you guys take an interest in this kind of stuff because it helps inform you guys on what and what does not have value. So I have a couple items listed onto eBay, and I want to show you. 2 of them sold today. Actually, I noticed it in the daytime stream because it said I was getting a payout, and I was like, "Ooh, what sold?" Actually, you know, we gotta sell some cards because my next big purchase is going to be a new safe. So that's my next purchase. I'm going to buy a safe, a good one. Probably, we're talking like $10,000. All right, so check it out. This just sold. This guy right here, Sealdas Fuden, $2,000. Not bad. That's pretty good. It shows you that there is a demand for the Sealdas cards. Also, this card up here sold, the Ampharos playing card. Once again, another simple playing card selling for an awful lot of money. Those playing cards are serious business, and everyone ignored them for a very long time. And I feel like what's going on now is clever people are scooping up cheap ones off the market in the mere hundreds of dollars. To me, that looks a lot like a cycle I've seen many times. Some cards that are just a couple $100 eventually double in price because turns out it's Pokemon and it's old and it's vintage. So that does not surprise me. Here's an Aber right here. Of course, I don't need to sell Aber to you guys. He can go up on eBay, and I don't know, maybe I'll just listen for more on eBay. But look at that. There's that Miltank selling for $160 as well. Look at that. There's Kabutops selling for $3,000. So eBay has proven to be very good. eBay will sell your cards for you if you list your stuff on eBay. Okay, guys? J-Dog says, my message disappear? You said yo-yo, and then I see a little Gengar face, and now I see you saying my message disappeared? Hey, how's it going, Tammy? Same thing, different Dave is still alive. Sounds like a solid investment. I applied for an AWS Information Infrastructure apprenticeship that popped up nearby. Wish me luck. AWS. Why not AQS? Here's Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff, Jigglypuff, Jigglypuff. Wow. Jigglypuff. We've got Eevee. I think that's part of the rotation. Here's Snorlax. He's not part of this rotation. Here's Tentacruel. All right, Tentacruel. And here's Mega Swampert. Whoa. Whoa. So I'm worried if I take a picture of these, and these actually belong in the other boxes, that they'll get their picture taken twice. We don't want that. I'll just go ahead and set these into the other box. We need to start making room after all, because we've got a lot of slabs coming up. The Zabra is super cool. I like the Zabra. Here's a Rillaboom for $25. Here's a Pachirisu for $75. Here's a Whitney for $340. Wow. Great slabs, everybody. I'm not going to take their picture, though. Oh, maybe I will. No, I won't. It would be nice if I had two places to put their pictures, I guess, actually. Yeah, that's what we need. We need two places to put their pictures while they're rotating. All right, give me a second. I'm gonna do a second channel. There'll be two channels. That's the trick. I realized that'll fix it. All right, we'll call this All Slabs 2. That's the trick. We can take their pictures. So I want you guys to be able to shop whenever you feel like shopping for some cool slabs. All Slabs 1, All Slabs 2. You know, I feel like people have found some really great deals on this table before, but I know definitely this is one of the best places to be selling these Cardconomist graded slabs, you know. This is the correct audience for them. So these cards that are not rotating can go into Slab Channel 2. That's the trick. Clever. All right. Okay, put this here. We got to clear up some room now. We already got a whole bunch of these up here. Here's Dark War Turtle with the W. Iona. Toxtricity. Charmander. Dark Golduck. I'm sad Anthem is going away. Really? What'd you like about Anthem? I never played it. See, GHI. All right, so this would be, this one right here would not go. What was good about it? I never played it. I thought it was stinky or something, wasn't it? That's what everybody said. They said it was stinky. Team Rocket Zapdos. Scooby-Dooby-Dum. Do. I really like this song, by the way. This is a cool Pokemon song. Okay. Take a quick picture here. That's fantastic, this Dark War Turtle is. I wouldn't mind hosting a break on that, but I don't know if people would jump into it. That Dark War Turtle was graded years ago, by the way. Look at it. Its certification number is 820, and it's got the old logo. Crazy. All right. 1, 2, 3. Those are put away. All right. Had the best flying mechanics in a video game. Do you remember the game they showed at the very end of the game show? It's been a radio silence from the devs and games coming out soon. I don't remember what they showed off. What did they show off? That's a 9. Here's a Hello Kitty. Here's a 9. And here's a 9. And here's an 8.5. And here's a 9. All right, let's take a picture of these. Do. Scooby Bones. Do you guys like this song? I like this song a lot. Look like Concord 2. Who's got Concord 2? You? So many 9s in this tag return. Let's jump over here and check the queue. All right, so we got some crypto in the daytime or in the morning time stream. Shane Blalock made his first ZELLE order. Very cool. So we got a thing going on. If you place a ZELLE order at all, you're going on the ZELLE giveaway. That's the current giveaways. The ZELLE giveaway for people who use ZELLE. All right, now here is some of the breaks running. We got SpongeBob. I don't know. Should we keep SpongeBob going? I like SpongeBob, but maybe he goes to eBay. Squirtle. So this card will not come down from the table until it's gone. He will be staying there until forever. Here's Flareon. He's a trade slab. Here's the Lightning Pipichu is NHCC here. So he's the only one in here. And I would be willing to offer to let him pull back out of that. Or he can stay in and we'll keep going. Here's the Ditto Break. It's a 1 in 9. Beatrice is already in there. The Mega Break. 2 spots left here, guys, in the Mega Break. And this is my favorite break on the table. This is the Shining Mew I think he has a very high chance of finishing by Friday. Look at the swirl by his head. Don't you think that's nice? So yeah, big swirl by his head. This is going to be PSA 1. I think it's very viable as a store of value, so I think that the ones are fine. Actually, when it comes to really good vintage cards, they're all fine. Doesn't matter what their grade is. All right, put these back over here, I suppose. Get back over there. All right, I sold 4 items on eBay other than those slabs. Man, I'm getting a lot of eBay sales, man. eBay is crazy. Let's go ahead and sort these up. How you guys feeling today on this fine Monday? Here's Tifa. She's new. Hunter. Pidgey9. He's new. Lots of 9s. Darkrai 8. And Charizard. All right, cool, man. Love that Mew. The Mew break. If you don't jump into it, it will probably disappear a lot faster than you were expecting. All right, let's take a look at this. All right, so this managed to nab a 10, huh? I really like this Cubone. Cubone's a tragic character. Look at this guy. Aw. All right. He's so sad. Poor Cubone. Let's see. Cubone's not necessarily my favorite Pokemon, though. I'm more of a Tyranitar type. Expedition. I just like that they got a nice thing going on with this guy. Let's see. Where did I even obtain this card from? That's my question. Let's go to purchases. Let me look up Cubone. I've heard this music so many times. I got all the notes memorized, man. So this Cubone, I wonder if any of the cards in this submission were regrades. I'm going to go into the regrade channel and just see if we have any regrades. So here's the regrade channel. I'm going to scroll up, see if I recognize anything. Regrade. Ah, the Dark Jolteon was a regrade. PSA 9 to tag. That Jolteon came back 7.5. Yeah. That's not good news, actually, for tag grading. What that means is that they are grading harsher than PSA. They don't want to do that. That's a bad idea. Where'd he go? I just had him. So it was a PSA 9. I sent it to tag. It came back 7.5. They way downgraded it. Let me look for any others. I'm not seeing any others that were regraded. Just that Jolteon then. Okay. Okay, so the Jolteon was a regrade. That's crazy. Makes me wonder how many of these might have been 10 if they had simply been PSA. But, well, I guess we've got this Cubone. All right. Yeah, tag, they're going to push me over to PSA if they're too harsh. There we go. PSA's already got more value in a certain way because they're the more established brand. Okay, we'll toss this over here. You know, CGC went through the same problem, by the way. CGC, when they first came out, they were such a harsh grader. And in a way, it wasn't a bad thing. I mean, it was, but it's like you understood when you bought a CGC 10, it was a 10. And, you know, people actually valued CGC that way. They said, oh, man, that's one of those tough CGC 10s, right? Then the CGC, like, reversed on that. They became easy to grade with, and it was like, hey, oops. So I don't know how that's working out for them. But I guess they get a lot of grades, so maybe it's fine. Did you know Cubone's skull is his mother's... yes. Yes, everybody knows this about poor little Cubone. All right. He's an excellent Pokemon design. That's some good design, you know. He's like a little dinosaur, too. I love it. What do we price this at, though? So I don't think we'll find one for sale. Nope, there's not one for sale. Let me check sold. So in November, no, in January, he reaches a fever pitch top price English non-hollow of $400. And now there's just not one for sale. Do I even sell it? That's the question. Do I even sell this or do I just store it? Something tells me a card like this just is not going to go down. Okay, so according to that, the PSA population is pop 52. 52, huh? It's a very rare vintage card. I'm going to set a very high price, so I don't think it's going to sell. But I'll allow him to float around on the table. But I'm going to ask 100. And I'm going to put the PSA population down on the right-hand corner so you know roughly what the PSA pop is. That's not the tag pop. This might be the only one graded tag 10. That doesn't really matter, though. The PSA population matters. All right. It's super rare. I know it's super rare. I'm just going to play around with it. I mean, I don't mind holding on to that guy. All right. So, slow day. We had a slow, I noticed the daytime stream wasn't, or the morning time stream wasn't super busy. We have Miss Alexandra 4 hours ago. Let's see, PSA, not PSA, PayPal. No PayPal orders. Let's check Zelle. No Zelle orders, and and no orders on Cash App. All right, maybe a slow week this week, huh, guys? We're 22 minutes in. There's no orders in the queue. What are you guys interested in? How do you guys feel about the market right now? You think it's pretty crazy right now? I'm going to just keep putting these cards up here. You guys might just be waiting for some of these to get a price. Let's see what we got. 650 OBO, 1,000 OBO. I don't even know if I want to sell him. He's kind of cool. Oh, there's some of the nice ones. So we've already got a Tifa here. Tifa 10, we're asking 40 on Tifa 10. These Tifas, by the way, these are from the very first Final Fantasy Opus set. So 40 is very reasonable ask here. It is. Fill the table with Tifas. This Tifa is from 2022, from Nightmares. From Nightmares from 2022? It's been that long? Oh my God, that's so long ago. No, that's not accurate. From Nightmares, not 2022. It's probably 2024. I think they got the date wrong. Yeah, they got the date wrong on that, I'm pretty sure. Oops. Here we go. All right. Become the Cubone King. Yeah, I don't know about all that. Okay, we got a little made-up price here on this holographic Tifa. It's Mewtwo's cool, man. All right, Mewtwo. This Mewtwo could easily be a break. Mewtwo 074. Wait, how expensive is he? The King of Diglets. Diglett King. Hell no, dude. I'm going to be Cloyster King. All right. Yeah, he definitely screams I could be a break, doesn't he? This Mewtwo, he's the chase card out of Pokemon Go. I'm going to set him here. He shall await going off for a break. Now, this is very special. Like I said, do I sell this or do I just hold it? It seems like it could be an easy hold. Maybe I sell it and I grade more Halo cards. I don't know. This has got to be one of the best artworks in general, right? Like, it doesn't get a lot more epic than this. There's only a few really good-looking Master Chief cards. So this one's going to be called Topps Halo cover art, huh? Topps Halo. 4 out of 10. Type in 4. Oh my God, I hate this. It shows me a bunch of baseball cards. How annoying is that? King of the Clams. What? Man, I do not know. What I know is that the boxes these come out of are getting pretty expensive. And I know it's pretty ridiculous to get a 10 on these. Wait, let's type in Topps Halo Ah, man, I don't know what to type in because it's just returning a bunch of baseball cards. It's so annoying. 2007, maybe? That is a really nice Halo card. Oh, it's nice. That's what I was thinking. Let's type in Master Chief. That might work. Wow. So there are some Master Chief cards, but not a single one of them are graded 10. Wow. Okay. I'm going to make him available for sale. I don't really want him to sell because I like him, but I'm going to make him available, and it's probably just going to be a real high price. It's just a made-up price. It's how I feel about him. That's all it is. It's just how I feel about him. All right. There we go. All right, so there's our price, $2,500. Ooh, who's this? This is Mr. 3. All right. I don't like girls. Wait, your name is Mike. Mike Side. There you go. Very good. This is called Mr. 3 OP09 056. Here he is in English for like $200. Damn. Why is it so expensive? Ooh, what the hell? There's this crazy looking Marshall D. Teach card that pops up when you search for sold versions of Mr. 3. Man, I've got no clue. The only thing I have to go off of is the fact that the PSA 10 in English is 200. That's the only thing I have to go off of. So I'll make this guy a more reasonable price of maybe $70, 75. There it is. Sephiroth got a 9, to my chagrin. I read that in his voice. That's so bad. I don't like girls. So they don't like it. Let's take a picture of this. Or let's not take a picture. Let's get a scan. Take a second, by the way, and smash that like button. Let's get those likes up, man. Let's get those likes up. All right, how about this Sephiroth? Wow, it says the problem is that the front centering is extremely off-center. It says 39 top, 61 bottom. Really? Based off of what? I'm looking. Hold on, let me see. So it says the top is thin and the bottom is really thick. But what are they basing these measurements off of? What are they measuring? I don't like that one bit. Measurements, angle, what? Sorry, I know I'm being quiet, but I don't understand what exactly they chose. Tip of the diamond shouldn't be that close to the edge. Yeah, you think so? I guess. How do they not know that that was the way the card should have been designed? You know, did Final Fantasy set the rules for what the centering on their own card should be? That's what I'm thinking about. You get cards like that where it's like it's not a clear border, is it? It is. compared to Tifa. Yes, Alex, he probably would have. Yeah, but what if you were to argue that these words down here are too close to the bottom edge? That's what I'm saying. Like, what is it based off of? What if this is actually massively thin on the bottom? Are they measuring it from the tip of the diamond to this? I mean, what's the measurement based off of? Is it meant to be this bar right here versus this bar up here? I don't know. I don't know how they choose their rules. That makes me uncomfortable. I wonder if we sent it to PSA, if it would come back 10. Because what they didn't say there was a surface problem. There are digital images of the cards on the Final Fantasy TCG website. Too much bottom. Those bastards. Oh, I think I know what you're saying, Tammy. What you're saying is that they could have gone to the website and taken a measurement from the digital images to decide what the centering should be. Oh, that's clever. I didn't think of that. Okay, we'll set this here. All right, very fascinating. All right, put that over there. Okay. And we'll go ahead and give this, let's see. It's a 9, so it's a 9 Sephiroth. Let's give it $25 for a price. All right, very nice. Here's Adventure Time, Bubblegum, and Finn. Here's Duskull. Here's Eevee. Here's Hello Kitty. Meow. Here's Galarian Moltres. Donald Duck. Okay, so we got a round of 9s here. All right, here's another round. And here's a 9. You guys might not have seen these prices. These were from the morning time stream. We'd already showed off some of the 9s. That's a Master Ball Bronzong there. We're going to take a picture of these and send them off to the Discord now. Ready? All right. So this goes in the 9s or lower channel. Let's take a quick picture. All right, there we go. Very nice. Eevee with an E, Duskull with the D, Bronzer with the B, Lucario with an L. Oh, wait, it won't matter. Those are all 9s. They're going in the 9 box. Finally got my $2,000 Gengar today. UPS messed up the shipping so bad and delayed it for a month. That sucks. Delayed shipping for a month? That's too long. All right, let's see. Let me hit refresh. Oh. Let me hit refresh. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Happy Monday. How did your Monday go so far? Let's get some more of these crappy 9s up here. So we're just pricing up slabs for days. Okay. Here we have a Lightning 1. Here's Golem EX. Ready for football. And here's Mewtwo. Oh, yeah, the Super Bowl. Isn't that like Valentine's Day or something like that? I think that's Valentine's Day. Okay, what's this? We've got Mewtwo 9. Is that in English? It is. So, 052. Steelers play tonight. The Steelers. Give me a minute. Wow. I'm very excited for that. Congratulations to the Bears. All right, so here we go. So here we have Scarlet Violet Mewtwo 9 for $50. All right, $50 shall be the price. Patriots taking the Super Bowl this year. They've been playing pretty solid this year, to be honest. Here we are. Okay. Here's Golem 9 from 151. Now, I'm telling you, man, these grades, they're handing out 9s all over the place. How about this guy? The real question is, why did I send him? Guess I just wanted to send some stuff, huh? I said, send it out. I think we can make our money back at least. I don't feel like I need to look up this guy's price. He's going to be $24. It's like a standard 9 price. Oh, this is sold right away. Oscar Resendez wants it. Here you go, Mr. Oscar. All right. Very nice. Boop. And now this lightning, sadly, that got a 9 as well. That's too bad, man. I'm going to pop this here. We're going to ask just 20 bucks for that. Okay. Lightning. That's what we saw in the return is lots and lots of 9s. But not this one. Hi, Kevin. Whoa. SpongeBob card. Now, that one might be worth sending off to Phoebe. You know why? Because... Ooh, that music changed. You know why? Because a lot of these might be in grading with PSA right now, but we've already got ours back. And the reason for that is because tag grading's so fast. So we might be able to sell this pretty fast. Let's see what Hi Kevin goes for on eBay. Y'all watch pro sports. Who watches pro sports? There we go. Lots of SpongeBob cards hitting the market, I can see. It is tempting to list this up on eBay. Would you guys like to see how that works? Let's see how it works. Where's my mat? Let's give it a try, shall we? So we'll dual price this one, maybe. We'll price it on the table. We'll price it on eBay. Oops. Looks like I just got a message for something. All right. I've been watching the news all day long. There's been so much in the news lately. You guys agree there's been a lot of crazy stuff in the news. Okay. We'll set this to the side for a minute. And we'll just take a nice picture of it. Okay. Take a picture of the back. There we go. All right, so we took some pictures. There's been a lot in the news. People are up in arms. Rawr. All right. Very nice. Pokemon cards continue to hit crazy prices. I saw some latest sales on a couple cards, and they were just outrageously high. So I intend to sell this card for probably $100. We gotta take Greenland, man. Yeah. We need it. We need it for self-defense or something like that. Here we go. We'll take 1 Greenland, please. All right. Let's see. It really is weird that Denmark owns it, though, you know? That island could be owned by any country in the world, but it's owned by Denmark. And the reason Denmark's able to hold it is because China and Russia are scared to mess with NATO. If we were not, the United States military were not enforcing NATO, they could not hold it. Simple as that. So it would go over to Russia. It would go over to China. One of them would take it. Or maybe it would go to the UK. I don't know. Whichever country had a strong enough military, I suppose. Probably not the UK. I think that's what Trump recognizes, and that's why he wants it. He says, hey, we can't just be your free military that protects your island for you. You're going to have to give us that military. We're going to say tag 10 SpongeBob. No, we're going to say hi Kevin. Tag 10 hi Kevin. Tops SpongeBob Topps SpongeBob. We should say Topps Chrome SpongeBob. There we go. Topps Chrome SpongeBob. And the number on it is number 81. Number 81. All right, cool. Domestic flights to Greenland and crazy tax benefits living there, question mark? I don't know. Let's see, we're going to click on this. Continue without match. Is the card graded? Who's the grader? It's going to be tag. What did it grade? It graded 10. Now for the fun part, we get to describe our card. Upload photos. We already took the photos. 1, 2. Boop. Very good. Item specifics. That was weird. Didn't let me choose anything. Okay. Additional specifics are required. Okay, but it doesn't work. We'll give it one of these AI descriptions. We'll turn it into a $100 card. What do you guys think? You think this will sell? I would like for it to sell. That would be nice. Because I believe to acquire this, I had to... Oh, it's like glitched or something. All right, we got a glitch going on. We're going to say save for later. All right, and now let's close this. Guess our app was glitched. Drafts? Is it under drafts now? Here it is. All right, so it's under drafts. Let's see if we can finish it off. Yo, I'm new here. Can someone explain which Charizard card is Charizard? I see it in every comment section you have. Ha ha. A long time ago, I called Charizard Charizard. So it was kind of like an old joke. And there's a guy keeping it going forever. He says Charizard in every short. It's really funny. Yeah. He had to stop by and say hi. Let's see. We're going to offer free shipping. Okay. And now I think we're done. We just hit list item now. The item is listed. There it goes. So now we have an eBay listed item. And in order to tell myself that it's on eBay, we're going to say eBay. Okay, that's an eBay listed item. Take a look at that, guys. So we graded a number of these, and they really did not grade 10, but this one did. We actually graded a lot of cards in this submission, and just a handful of them graded 10, showing you how exceptionally difficult it is to get those 10s. Look at that. Cool, man. Well, shucks, I ain't ever seen so many dang Charizards. The GoFundMe for the ICE officer is now over $500,000. People got too much money, man. Giving somebody who did something like shoot a lady in the face because you agree with the political concept of it, how's that a state? You know, if you really strongly believe in those things, you can donate your money to your local Democrat or your local Republican who are actually running for office. He's not running for office. That's crazy. I heard that happened to the lady at the what was it? The NTNs. You remember the NTN incident where the lady was going off on people, and then she got a GoFundMe and she just got rich from it. It's like crazy. It's getting to a point. If you can make the news, you can open a GoFundMe and get rich. Not exactly good. I don't know. Maybe it is good. Okay, let me hit refresh on these orders. So far, one order today. Mr. Oscar sent us. Thank you, Oscar. She didn't deserve to get mag dumped. Here, Shaman, says Mr. J. Oh, no way. I thought that was the nickname for the reverse hollow firework pattern vintage Charizard because it's a little more on the cherry side of red. Oh, no. That's just a funny joke. Charizard. It was I used to, say stuff like Charizard to make fun of the name. Yeah. There is no such thing as a true cherry Zard. Cherry flavored Zard. Ooh, look at this Gengar. All right. So we got Gengar here. We got Acerola here. The Acerola's nice. We got Command Tower. I like this card so much. She's going up in the Waifu Shuffle. The Waifu Shuffle, you guys forget about it? It's another option similar to the Pokey Shuffle and the Live Customs. Did the Ancient Origins pack break go off already? Hey, how's it going, Vicious? There's 2 spots left in it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need 7. I can't remember. Are these $20 or $25, the Waifu Show? I think they're $20. That's very confusing. They should be $25, just like the Live Customs, don't you think? there's no way to, yeah, we'll have to figure that out. I'd like the Waifu Shuffles to be $25 now. But we'll say 009. Oh, no, 090. Ace, Arola. And tag 10. That's good. All right. Mike, your comments crack me up. Obey or die, die, die. The chicken hearts are cooking. All right, set this over here. Apparently, she was sitting in traffic trying to block ICE officers, you know. People they're divided on the subject, but I think there's actually a lot of people who are like, get it done, you know, like they don't care if she dies. They don't care if other people on the other team die. Oh, somebody on the other team died. What do I care? And that's why my theory is that we're in like a type of civil war. It's like at least civil strife or something. There's got to be like some word or some term to explain it. Civil strife, maybe, where the country is so well divided, you know, that people are happy if somebody on the other team gets shot. You know what I'm saying? Like Charlie Kirk got shot, and a lot of people were pretty comfortable with the idea of that. They're like, yes. There were people celebrating that. Remember, there were people celebrating that. So now you're seeing it maybe on the other side to a certain degree. They're saying, so what? So what? She was, you know, breaking the rules, moving vehicle. Actually, I saw the chief of police come out. The Chicago chief of police came out in support of the ICE officer. I saw that. Let's take a picture of these all slabs. Here we are. Oh, yeah. Donald Duck, Gengar, Charmander. He came out and he basically said, when you're a cop, in the heat of the moment, you don't know what's about to go down. And, you know, he was saying, like, a moving vehicle is a weapon, and you're just not allowed to do it. So I was like, yeah, okay. So he actually believes that, you know, it wasn't some evil shooting, that the guy really did believe that he was justified in the shooting or something like that. I don't know. But, you know, I guess if people want to get... Ooh, look at that Charizard, man. He looks good. If people want to get down and dirty in that subject, it's such a... You know, it's one of those subjects where you're waiting for the next bad thing to happen, and then the next bad thing, and the next bad thing. It's just going to keep going and going and going and going. And I think part of that is just because people want to fight. I think people actually want to fight to go down. Not me. They are Shuckle. I just want some Pokemon cards, maybe. But yeah, I think that's what we're heading toward. Is people want some, do something. Come on, have a fight now. Here's this. He died because of his own opinion. Rip Charlie. One was a crazed gunman. The other had mental sickness. That's what the left wants. You can see her waving the traffic through. Yeah, but that's people's interpretation of it. If they have a full video of it. So, yes, she was agitating. She was intentionally blocking the road. She did so for a little while. And, you know, her lesbian wife told her to drive off when she was under arrest. So they were arresting her because she was intentionally blocking traffic from being able to proceed. She was there honking the horn. You know, it was one of those like protest things, I guess. So here's Command Tower, Atticus, Tyranitar's a 9, Shaman's a 9. Okay, here's a Charmeleon. I'm just giving you the data that I've heard, okay? I'm not trying to editorialize it. That was reported by CNN. That's why I believe it. CNN reported that. There we go. So we got this lovely Glaceon. Glaceon 10 for $29. I don't think it can go lower than that. This guy, for $100, is wrongly priced. He's going to go be listed on eBay for like a couple hundred, probably. That's wrongly priced. Let's see. That still shouldn't be a death sentence. So maybe it's also kind of a case that Americans are learning something that some of us didn't know, and that is if you move a vehicle toward a cop, I guess he's allowed to shoot you. And I don't know. We could talk about changing that rule. You think that that's too rough of a rule? I think the problem is, from one perspective, it looks like he wasn't in that much danger and that all he needed to do was hop out of the way. But then you hear a little more about him. He had just gotten dragged like 100 yards by another car. So he had already been in a scenario where he got dragged by a vehicle. So I'm confident that's probably playing a big role here. He wasn't going to wait around and see, gee, I wonder if this car is going to strike me. So that's probably part of it. That's probably part of his thinking. We'll set this over here. Ooh. That card shall be sent off. Oh, my door's open. There we go. That card shall be sent off to sell on eBay. All right. If he had PTSD, he shouldn't have been in the field. Here's Tyranitar. I don't think he claimed to have PTSD. Here's Dust Noir. Here's Fui Coco. Okay, so Command Tower, Atticus, Glaceon, Fui Coco. Why was she there anyways? When she has a daughter, bad parenting. I don't know if that's really relevant. You're allowed to protest if you have children. I don't think what you're allowed to do is drive a car toward a cop, because they might be like, here it goes again. You know what I mean? Ooh, it's like I've seen a cop get shot too. When someone decides to hurt a cop, they don't really want the cop to react, so it happens pretty fast. Maybe that's the thinking. I don't know. All right, I'm just thinking out loud about it. Okay. What about you guys? Here's Slitherwing, Jigglypuff, Storming the Beach. It's been a couple days. More information has been coming out. Duskull 9. So to get more slabs up here, the first step is we got to remove some slabs. DHS described it like she was actively trying to run people over, even branded domestic terrorist. That 39 or 35 on the Fui Coco. On the Fui Coco, give me a second, I think it was 35. That's a good one, by the way. Yeah, here it is, just $35, Fui Coco. She failed the mission. No Mike watched the video. She didn't drive a cop towards a cop. She was turning away. Now, you could be correct about that. I think I also saw her trying to escape, not trying to run him over. But maybe the cop doesn't know that. You see what I'm saying? Maybe the cop doesn't know that the person in front of him isn't trying to run him over. Especially, again, he had just been run over. So he's probably just assuming it's happening twice. That's what I think is probably going on here. It's the simplest explanation. Okay, I'm going to grab this. Cops are trained to treat moving vehicles as deadly weapons. Here we are. Very nice. Okay. All right. Actually, so I had just watched a video on TikTok today. It was this lady that was under arrest, and she wouldn't get out of the vehicle. And then she sped off and killed 2 people and caused a miscarriage because she didn't want to be under arrest. She drove off and immediately crashed because she had no control over the vehicle. I was like, ooh. I don't know how often that happens, but I think it's part of that conversation about, you know, what's considered normal, I guess. Here's Mewtwo. Here's Plankton. From my breakdown, guy leaves truck and rushed her door. The murderer was not paying attention with his phone out. Here's Dark Golduck. Oh, so you think that he didn't even know what was going on. The car just came toward him and he shot. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, I don't even know about all that. I think you're probably going to hear a defense, you know, when it reaches court. I assume it's going to go to court. You'll probably hear a defense from him. I think he's going to get away with it 100%. You are. Unless you change the rules about whether a moving vehicle is considered a deadly weapon. Here we are. Very nice. So we got Dark Dragonair, Lightning, Grovyle, and Sephiroth. The wife is the main reason she diced. Yeah, I heard that the wife told her to drive away, and had she not said that, had she gotten out of the car and allowed herself to be arrested, maybe she would still be alive. I don't know. But that also goes back to an old conversation about, are you actually allowed to just ignore officers and not be arrested because you don't feel like being arrested? That's another tough one. All right, let's see. And people's answers would almost certainly depend on whether they agreed with her or disagreed with her. So these are all 9s and 8s. They'll go here. I don't really care about the subject, to be honest. Yeah, it's been going on. The subject's been going on for a few days. That's why I was saying, like, I'm almost ready for the next thing to happen. But it's like you're almost only expecting something negative to happen at this point. Let's grab a couple of these. Although there is another subject. Jeremy Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, is being indicted. Do you guys hear about that one, or is that one too boring? Avery Johnson. If he was dragged before, he shouldn't stand in front of another vehicle. Here we are. Well, when he got dragged before, I think he was on the side of the vehicle, right? Wasn't that the case? He was on the side of the vehicle, and his arm got trapped in the window. And because he was actually arresting somebody who they were placing under arrest. And this time he was in front of the vehicle, and the vehicle started moving at him. Here's Sergeant Avery Johnson. I think you could argue that don't have your car turned on and don't try to drive away when you're under arrest. That's what their defense is going to say. She was effing with ICE all week, so she was not new to following them. Yeah. Cut rates already, says MRNK. Yeah. Well, you know, before COVID, rates were lower than they are right now. So I think Trump probably feels like, okay, here's this guy, Jeremy Powell, and he's not a fan of me, and he's keeping interest rates high on purpose. So that's what I think he's probably interpreting. Let's see. Avery Johnson, tops. No price. So here we have an Avery Johnson 10. This also seems like a kind of card to send off to eBay. Man, I need to have cards that need to be listed on eBay in a box. But I think we're going to be asking a solid $100 on this, which I think is a very fair price for what it is. There it is. I think ICE needs to just arrest people sooner. Letting them heckle or harass for hours gives them the idea that they can't touch them. Yeah, I've heard that already. I think Asmongold was saying something like that. But I don't know if I agree with that either, because people do have a right to protest in this country, and we're not an actual authoritarian regime. It's just that some people kind of push the limit. They're not satisfied with protesting, and they want to actually get involved, you know, like they want to actually physically stop the officers, and that's probably where you cross over from protesting to impeding, you know, their duties or an investigation or something like that, which is a crime. And so in her case, she was blocking the road. You're not allowed to do that. You're just not allowed to do that in order to stop officers from doing their job. Maybe you don't agree with their job. And in that case, that comes down to voting. So you need to vote to stop the ICE agents from doing what the leader tells them to do. That's what a democracy is, right? But if you just kind of get directly involved and say, nope, you're not allowed to do what what the leader that got voted on said to do, now you're impeding an investigation. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Duskull got a 10. Let's see what an English Duskull actually sells for, because I think we sold that Groudon too cheap almost, but maybe not. PSA 10, Duskull, Prismatic, 035. I don't know. People are so, let's see, that's a PSA 9. People are so wrapped up in the subject. Let's see. I think it's going to be fine, man. It'll be a subject that gets talked about on the internet, but I think it's just going to be this struggle that never really ends. It'll just keep moving slowly. So the last Duskull sold for $60, and I don't think there's any for sale. Is that right? Did no one bother grading this card? Back to Pokemon. Go live in a police-free area. Curious to see how long you last before calling for help. The bootlicking in the comments is insane, says Loot Pack. I think it's very important to give people a chance to speak and share their feelings about it. Let's try to be really nice about it. We don't gotta like fight. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's see. No need for a real fight. You can just share your feelings about it. And wow, why can't I find this card? PSA 10, 035. There's just none for sale. Is that it? There's a 9, and that's it. I guess that means I get to choose my own price. So I'm going to go with $75 on this. Play the national anthem. America, America. Is that good? Here's Tyranitar. Ooh, look at that Tyranitar. Beautiful. I love freedom of speech. Flash the earthworm slabs. That always calms the crowd down. Everyone loves earthworm. There we go. I don't know. I heard earthworm talking about population IQ. I think he might be far right or far left. He's far something. Tyranitar 064. All right. Doobie-doobie-doo. So his number is 064. And there should be some graded. Here we go. Wow, this card is cheap right now. I would definitely consider acquiring one of these because I guarantee you in the future this can go way higher than this. This card is only $70. Considering this is a probably once-time printed promo and it's got a nice reverse prismatic stamp, I'd probably consider buying one of those while there's a lot of them freshly graded and they're all pretty cheap because I would bet that one has a better chance of going up. Clam Pearl for vice president. Not bad. They're trying to steer people away from the fraud that got uncovered. There was a lot of fraud that was uncovered. It's still being investigated. Yeah, that's probably the biggest story of the year for me, the fraud subject. Giratina. Oh, man. Yeah, that's a big deal. I think we're all just kind of holding our breath to hear what comes out next or to hear what's found by the FBI. If you guys recall, the FBI ran in and seized a bunch of computers. So they're definitely doing some kind of investigation. We don't know how that's going to end. PSA 10, Giratina. 007. I'm looking for the stamped Rache ROM. I saw a video thumbnail. I guess they're starting the fraud cases now. The box topper one. All right, so here we go. So what's this guy looking like? Whoa. Whoa, this guy got way more expensive. Let me check sold. Okay, but wait a second. He hasn't sold for that much. So, okay, the only ones available for sale now are really expensive. Is that right? Yeah. So the only Giratinas left from this set are really expensive. Really makes me think, what about the Dialga? I think it's called the Dialga Half Deck. Is that what it's called? Scooby Buns. What if you wanted a fresh Dialga Half Deck? What are those selling for now? Sealed. Oops. Sealed. Do you feel tag is the same price as PSA today? Yes. As long as the card inside is properly graded. All right, let's see. I've had zero trouble selling tag. That I can tell you, people buy tag like crazy. So I've had no trouble selling it. I am going to pick this up. So I couldn't find any sealed Dialga decks. Is it Dialga v Giratina? Let me see. Do you avoid buying CGC blue labels? I got a whole stack of them. Let me look at this. Hold on. Let's see. Japanese, maybe? I got to understand the raw supply of these real fast. Because if the raw supply is dried up, the slab prices are probably getting ready to change. Giratina Half Deck. Let's call it the Giratina Half Deck. How about that? Giratina Half Deck sealed. Oh, I'm not finding it. The half decks are gone. Unless I'm just having no luck. Let's get rid of the word sealed. And then let's sort by highest price maybe. There must be like one left, right? Like there has to be one left. No, just not seeing it. Wow, maybe they've all been purchased up and hoarded Or maybe they've all been purchased up and opened. I don't know. So that's really interesting to me. I'm going to set the price of this Giratina to the cheapest buy now price. And I actually agree with that price. One of the things I never understood about these cards is they're from 2008. They're quite old. And they used to be a lot cheaper. But it looks like that's not as true anymore. Like they're going down in price finally. I'm sorry, they're not going down. They're going up in price finally. But let me see. So Giratina half deck, PSA 10. How about Giratina? So I know I'm taking a long time on this, but this is a nice vintage card. Wow, I'm just so surprised by this. And what's this one right here? I'm gonna acquire one of these as well. Wait a second, let me close this. Hold on. Scooby Booby Buzz. Can you send a SpongeBob pack sealed too? Absolutely. If you'd like to grade some SpongeBob packs, we have the ability to help you with that. Just let me know, okay? I shouldn't whistle when we're live. Probably drives people nuts. All right, here goes. Let me plug this back in. Mr. Jesus Aguilera, I see you've sent an order in. All right. So, time for an official price on this bad boy. You ready? There it is. Beautiful. Hey, everyone. What's up, Mr. Ivan? How's it going? So there we go. We've got two pricey cards up here now. Giratina and Halo 2. We still got that. Wow, what a lucky grade. Considering how harsh they were on everything else. It's really nice we got a 10 on the Mew. That is so cool, man. The Mew might have to be saved for a break. They should all be $5. I love it when I find an obscure slab on eBay. It's been up for months with no sale, and after I look at it, watch it, the seller offers me $1. What? Oh, $1 off. Next up, Mr. Jesus, what's up? Ancient Origins pack break. That's right. So here it is. There's one spot left in here. You don't get to open the pack immediately. You get placed into the box break. Good luck in there, man. There we go. Ooh, very nice. Very nice. We've got this, and we've got the gym pack split. We've got the 100 start deck, which you can open for $50 or jump into a gym break. Or you can jump into this Boruto vintage pack. Rawr, Broken Promises. Okay. Oh, man, those promises are broken. Chicken hearts and hot honey. What? Here's a very gay SpongeBob Imagination. That's great. And then Sanji. Huh? I'll set these back down. We have a William Wafter order. He says slab away payment. William Wafter, $28. Thank you very much, Mr. William. All right, William Wafter, 200. Boom. You know something we haven't worked on in a little while? We need to get a first-time order free card setup. Again, we haven't done that in a little while. I think we could pull something nice out of here, can't we? A little Tepig. How about something cooler than Tepig? How about Oshawott? Oh, Oshawott Supremacy. Am I still late? Oh, on William Wafter, Ninja. Oh, let me update it. I'm sorry, I wasn't even paying attention to that. Let me update it. All right. All right, you're all up to date. Thanks, man. I was not even paying attention to that. I did a pack break spot. Nice. A pack break spot. So there we go, guys. We have a fresh first-time order card. If you're watching the stream, you've never placed an order, try placing one. You get this free poker card. It looks really well centered. It's from 100% fresh deck. Probably going to grade 10 for you, okay? Let's jump back over here. Let me go ahead and hit refresh on the queue. Ah, there it goes. Todd Peters. He says, Ancient Origins pack break. There it is. Ancient Origins is going to run today. Somebody bought a spot in the daytime stream. The morning time stream. I got to get these names right. All right. Here's who's in the break. NHCC has 3 of the spots. Oh, my gosh. And you've got a spot. Okay. Good. There it is. Just 6 people. Let's grab 6 packs. Custom packs. Hey, how's it going, Edward? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Ooh. Let's place this out of the way and pull some cards over here. Sent an order through PayPal. Nice. Duraludon. Here's Duwong. Here's the Crocodile. Here's Charmeleon. Here's Schmeargle. Very nice. We need the chase card. By the way, you're allowed to keep this rather than trading it back in. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We should put like a score on the signature card for every time it got traded back. Maybe we'll do that next time. Oops. Oh, damn. AO break. LFG. That's right. Ancient Origins break is going off. This is for a spot in the box break. There he is. What up, bro? Just subscribed. Your voice is very cute. Do you have a girl? No, I'm single and looking to mingle. Oh, my God. That's definitely fake, right? Whoa. We are. All right, give me a number. Ooh. It's Jessica, the real girl. 4. A 1, 2, 3, 4. Boop. We'll jump over here. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wife gonna come flying in and beat Mr. live on stream. Actually, that would be really funny. It is. All right. All right. Ta-da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Quit catfishing Mr. on an alt account. She would do that. She'd find that entertaining. All right. She just wants your pokies, Mr. You just want my pokies. You can't trick me. Be gone, thought. I'm not a catfish. It's Jessica, the real girl. Give me a number. I love Pokemon too, yes. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Here's Tyler Davis. Sorry, Tyler. Here's NHCC. Charmeleon. Here's Todd Peters. Code. Sorry, Todd. Here's Are the rest NHCC? Because there's no way he's going to miss then, right? NHCC. NHCC. What? He had, oh my God, he had one already come out. It is you, Mr. Jesus Aguilera. Congratulations, bro. Damn, bro. All right. We'll put this over here. Whoa. I thought maybe we had not pulled an NHCC card yet, but apparently we had. I just had forgotten already because I have the memory of a goldfish. But she ain't broken with no broke Pokemon card collectors. That's the lyrics, by the way. Those are the real lyrics. He changed it to make it cooler. All right. I ain't saying she's a Pokemon digger, but she ain't messing with no broke collectors. Throw that away. So that's completed, and we have to write his name into the break, which moves it forward by 1 spot. Where'd it go? I must have missed it. Ah, here it is. Most guys I have had at once is 4. Only 4? Pathetic. Those are rookie numbers. Let's see. Lira. Freaking none over here, man. 4, that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 spots remain. She's referring to having friends over for like nacho night. Fine God. I only bought 1 spot in there though. 1 was star, last was 10, so 50 deep worth the shot. What's Hood Ivan? All right. So here's the fun part. This is a fresh round now. If you would like to purchase the pack outright, it's $230 and get you into the box break. If you would prefer to take a shot at a break on the spot, you can do that as well. So you have either option. All right. Now, the new star card recipient shall be. We're changing star card recipients because that one's over. Here it is. This guy. Every time a star break goes off, this guy gets a spot now. We're also going to change the number of spots in the Squirtle now since he's receiving spots. He shall now be 41 and 9. All right. Squirtle. How much is a spot in the XY? $230. Ooh, sounds like a boat's going by out there, but it's dark outside. Did you guys hear that? Sounded just like a boat. Okay. No, we played Hid the Swasage. What's a Swasage? Let's see. Michael Pettifor. I think I played that game with my uncle once. Yes. Michael Pettiford says he'll take 1 PRB2. Ba-doop. I missed the old Kanye. There we go. Shoop. What do we got? Ooh, that was a good pull, Michael. Hiding behind 1 pack was this buggy card. Nice. Okay, Sanji. Mr. Moonlight Burger Cheese spot to the AO break. Sounds good, man. Yeah, actually, I was going to ask you if you wanted to stay in that break because it was one that's been stuck before. So we're going to go ahead and pull you out of there. Move him off the table. Actually, I think he'd make a great pull for the... he would make a great pull for the live custies, which have plenty of room in them. The only problem with the live customs is I don't have enough booster packs for them. That's the real problem. What if I should just borrow these booster packs? Look. I could have the rest of these go into the live customs. I really could, huh? I don't know. There we go. Mr. Only trades smoochies for packs to me. That's right. No one's even ever tried to trade me sexual favors for Pokemon cards. Total missed opportunity. Julio Oliveira. He wants the grade 10 Fui Coco. Oh, yeah. He says, I always enjoy the discussions. Thank you. Do you? Some people don't like it. I love it. I love the conversations. It often talks about, you know, maybe how things should be organized in the country. It's almost like a little philosophy thing, isn't it? It's ultimately, it is philosophy. All right, Fui Coco. Ready? Deeper down, that's what they don't tell you. Politics and religion is all philosophy. How should things be? All right. Ooh. A Venusaur PSA 6. I guess you get an hour with me. What? I will join you and your wife, if anything. You're definitely a dude, bro. Wait, let me see. 100%. Oh, 100% a dude. I mean, look at this name, too. Joined 8 minutes ago. Yeah, that's definitely a troll. All right, so zoop. It's me, Jessica, the real girl. No TCC, don't check. All right, I'll close my eyes and pretend it's all real. Thanks, Mr. Wow, that's a nice pool. What's a nice pool? Let's grab one of these. Here's a nice pull. You guys want to see a real girl? Oh, yeah. This is One Piece Event Pack Volume 5 promo. Hey. So I guess this is a promo. I'm not the One Piece expert. I don't know what the deal is. There it goes. All right. We'll grab one of these. I like the argue twice method. Once sober, once drunk. If it still hold up, we vote. Yeah. Speaking of arguing drunk, has anyone ever noticed when you argue at night, for some reason your brain's like in a different state of mind? Then you wake up in the morning, you're like, what's all this nerdy shit I've been talking about? You know what I mean? You guys ever notice that? Don't argue at night because you'll be twice as crazy. Let's see. Ooh, Nami. Nami. 101 maybe? I noticed that if I write an argument at night and then I sleep and wake up, I'll look back on it and be like, what the F was I saying? Whoa, I see this card for 260. It's called the... No, wait a second. There's... Well, hold on. Maybe not. What's this called? Event Pack Volume 5? Hold on. Give me a second. Ugh. Nami. Let's find out. PSA 10. Event Pack Volume 5. Let's see what happens if I type that in. Oh, okay. Wow. So there's one of these is for sale for 250. That's what I can find about it. Check sold. There's a ton of Namis. Got to get it right. Yeah. I want to make sure that the one I sell you guys is the one that I actually bought. Let me go to my... let me look up and see exactly what this was when I bought it. Okay, give me a second here, guys. All right. Okay, so this was the 2nd anniversary complete guide promo. Anniversary Nami. 2nd anniversary Nami. There we go. And now let's type in PSA 10. We got to make sure we don't overprice this as a result of not fully understanding it. Because I really don't understand One Piece. Okay, the cheapest one is in Japan. It's $180 plus $50 shipping plus the import fee. Okay, so that makes it 230 times an import fee of 15%. Okay, that's 268. And the Chinese one's not going to be cheaper than that. That's 250 times 15%. Yeah, so the cheapest one is this Japanese one, it appears. Does somebody else want to fact check that? I'm coming up with 264, okay? This is the 2nd anniversary promo. There you go. I don't know why they called it Event Pack Volume 5. I don't know if that's inaccurate or not. Maybe that's the same thing. But I know from the person who I bought it from, it was an anniversary, 2nd anniversary promo. Okay. She has large personalities. All right, let's get it priced up. I feel confident that this is for the right item now because I looked up what I bought and then I looked that card up when it was graded. That's some hot slabs coming back from Tag, man. Giratina, Nami, this insane Halo 10. I'm super lucky that I got that. Really, really nice. All right, let's see. So we're going to jump up here. We're going to hit refresh. Very nice. We're going to hit refresh over here as well. I'm only in love with Dark Magician Girl always. By the way, we don't have a giveaway running, do we? We need a giveaway, guys. Oh, we do have a giveaway. The ZELLE giveaway. All right, so this is a giveaway that is only for people who make a purchase using ZELLE. You don't have to purchase a lot. You can buy like a $3 booster if you wish. Anyone who is signed up for ZELLE and using ZELLE can get into this giveaway by simply showing me that you have a ZELLE, okay? That is the ZELLE giveaway. When it's over, we'll pick the next giveaway, okay? It's probably going to end soon. Actually, Michael Pettiford sent an order just a second ago. But you're already in here. You can go in again, Michael. You're in twice. We need one more person, okay? And you know what? I tell you what. Let's keep this giveaway separate. We'll have 2 giveaways. We can do 2. That's not complicated. Let's do 2. Okay, so I got this cute little card. It's an Adventure Time card. This is giveaway number 2. We're handing this out for free. Let's do 2 at once. That's a smart incentive. Yeah, so anytime I want, I can do a ZELLE giveaway. And it's because, you know, it's nothing wrong with ZELLE. People just probably, if they're comfortable using PSA, they won't go through the trouble of learning PSA. I'm sorry, they won't go through the trouble of learning ZELLE. If you're already comfortable with PayPal, you won't go through the trouble of learning ZELLE. And I want you to go through the trouble of learning how to use it, and I want you to use it. There you go. Let's transact without PayPal taking a cut. It's a good thing. Why should PayPal get a cut? All right. What should the keyword for this be? TCC or something? There's a TCC giveaway. So I'm effectively giving away 2 giveaways. That one's about $30. This one's about $15, so that's $45. Actually, I don't think this is actually worth $15. I only priced it at $15 to try and get it to sell. I actually think it's worth more than that. I think this card's probably worth about $20. $15 was a sale price, so $30, $20. That's $50. TCC plus 50 is $160. Okay, I'm at $160 so far for this month. Oh, plus you got to count the 2 cards being given away for the bounty cards count too, right? What are those probably worth? About 200. So I'm giving the bounties away, so I get to add 200 to my name. So that's 360. So I'm up to 360 for January. Here we go. Very nice. Now let me get this started and ready. Giveaway time, guys. Is the trade slab still Hello Kitty? No, the trade slab is currently this Flareon. 2 spots left. You can give up your junk cards to get into this nice Flareon slab. We ought to do a trade slab for like a really big expensive card as an experiment, just to see what happens. All right, let's hit refresh. Cactuar Queen, how's it going? Just listening to the stream while filling out spreadsheets. Yes. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you guys have been having a nice Monday. We've just been pricing up a lot of slabs. That's what we've been doing over here. This guy got a 9. Monkey D. Luffy, Uta Battle Deck from 2024. Okay. Oh, before we do that, we've got a payment inbound from Mr. Steven Gonzalez for paying off my slab away. Here goes, Mr. Steven. You've got BGS 10 Nikkei. So I wonder if that would be over here or if it's going to be in the other box. All right, we just finished a slab away here, guys. How about that? Steven Gonzalez, is that right? Here it is. Here it is. Boom. Whoa, them some boobies, man. Speaking of boobies, we got more booby cards to price up, actually. We've got these. So we have a number of cards that are on consignment that have never been priced because we just didn't have room. And we're actually kind of making some room because some of those consignment slabs have been selling. All right, there you go, Mr. Steven. Congratulations, man. That's probably feeling pretty good. Okay, now where were we? We were pricing up Monkey D. Luffy. He's real Luffy. People told me to get some more one-piece slabs up on the table, so that's what I've been working on. That's a nice Luffy. That's right. 061 Luffy. Ow. 061 Luffy. First of all, let's try and find this card. I'm definitely going to have to get that buggy card graded. I'd love to help you with that if you like. Okay. What's going on with this card? What am I looking at here? we have the Japanese version. The English version's crazy expensive for a 9. What about the Japanese version? Japanese. The Nami promo comes from a 2nd anniversary guidebook in Japan. She is one of 2 promos that came with the book. Oh, very nice. Wow, I cannot find this. So weird. Let's get rid of the 061 part and say Luffy Uta Battle Deck. How about that? Luffy Uta Battle Deck. Ah, there he is. But those are English. I need a Japanese one. Wow, it's so hard to find some of these cards. I love how Japan puts cards in the magazines. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I cannot find this card in Japanese. Man, I might just come up with the... No, I can't come up with this a made-up price on a card I don't know what I'm selling. I'm trying to find it, guys. Have you or do buy raw off eBay? Have you had success when grading 10s? I have bought singles. Yes, I've done that before. I have mixed experiences. Sometimes I have very bad experiences where all the cards are clearly picked through. Sometimes I have some decent success. But here's the thing. Even when you buy, fresh cards, they don't always grade 10. Sometimes they grade really bad. So, funny enough, I have to make a choice. Do I buy ungraded cards, or do I just go buy a 10 of the same card, Because if you just go buy a 10, all of the risk is gone. So, if you look at my actual purchase... Oh, here we go. Found it. One sold in December. Pretty close to $100. And we have a PSA 9 of it. All right, it's settled. That'll be $25. Wow, that was really hard to find for some reason. That was hard to find. There we go. So we got a nice little Luffy for $25. How about this one? Boa Hancock. Oh, no, bro. All right. Let's pull the laptop down and get this done. Let's not take too long like last time. ST03-013. Here she is. And we want the cheapest one. She's very nice. She's got to be $50. Well, she did grade 10, so I would anticipate a price around 100. Here we go. Ooh, the cheapest one has 13 watchers, and it's more like 190. Wow, and that's in Japanese. Let me check sold. Dooba-dooby-doo, last sold January 11th, $190. Wow, 190, huh? Do we have any other one-piece breaks going? I don't think we have any one-piece breaks. If we don't have any so I have a couple options with this card. I can offer it in Slab Away. I can offer it in the the Waifu Shuffle. Does it have any one? What does the Waifu Shuffle have in it? Is this strictly just Weiss? Oh, it's the same card, but way too cheap. Very interesting. So this card, since when I actually placed this card in here, it must have gone up. Very interesting. The same number? Oh, wow. Very interesting. Ooh, I'll put this back over here. Wow, make it a break. I think we might make it a break. It is. So that card has apparently gone up. Okay. All the scalpers getting cold feet on Pokemon and jumping to One Piece. Now might be the time to invest. I don't think people are getting cold feet on Pokemon. I think Pokemon virtually tripled in price, and now the price is so high that people are looking at it going, well, what's cheap? They're looking at what else has room to grow, and they're probably thinking maybe One Piece has some room to grow. All right, so as if the table needed another break, we're going to do a little break for this hottie mommy right here. Yeah, here we are. Let's grab this. I'm just thinking out loud. Grabbing that. My serialized boa just came in the mail. What? Boa. It's just like a girl with really large titties. Proving once again that men want to buy hot, sexy girls. All right. So it's going to be 41 and 6 because one of the spots is a star spot. There it is. And, all right. Cool. We got the one-piece EB1 break mister. That's right. There's a one-piece EB1 break. My manga's almost doubled since the great scalper migration of 25. It's stabilizing too, so the scalpers ain't getting as easy money, so they are panicking. Next up, we have an Ivan Rodriguez order for the One Piece Tag 9. Here goes Mr. Ivan. Ivan Rodriguez. Here you go. Okay. Very nice. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. All right. We're going to jump over to the website, see how that's going. Okay. Very cool. So why don't we price up another card real fast? Pricing up cards. It's pretty exciting. Is Mr. Mike Side still here? Mike Side, you want to take a look at these? Maybe we'll have a special Mike Side price. Look at this. So there's a nice Galaxy Within Grasp. I think that's how Trump's looking at it. That's Trump, and this is Greenland. All right. That's Trump, and this is Venezuelan oil. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Let's see if we can find it, though. Galaxy Within Grasp. So, all right. Well, there is one for sale online for a very reasonable $95. It appears to be the exact same card. Yes. 95. Oh, wait. Oh, is ours a refractor? Oh, ours is a refractor. So the refractor is the rainbow hit in the booster pack. There's in a Topps Chrome pack, you get 4 cards. One of them is special. 3 of them are standard holos. You guys saw the Mufasa and the Scar and the Simba from the Topps Chrome Disney 100. Well, those were not refractors. This one's actually a refractor. It's got the rainbow holo in it. So now we got to look a little harder. Let's check refractor. Think of like Pokemon when it's a Spectra rare. It's a little more expensive. Actually, it tends to be a lot more expensive. But I do not see... Okay, I don't see a Spectra version of this. So I'm going to change the price because it looks like the standard one's about $90. I'm going to make the Spectra, or the refractor, just a little more expensive, not too much. I think it deserves it, you know. It's a nice looking Star Wars card. You got to respect it. Okay, and then Qui-Gon Jinn. There's a lot of these Star Wars cards that you can easily obtain ungraded. They're very easy to get ungraded. Do you know it is very hard to do? It is extremely hard to get 10s on these. Extremely difficult. Because they don't store well. They've got sharp, pointy corners. They don't even come out of the fresh booster pack well. I mean, they come out of the booster pack with all kinds of problems. And so these grading 10 is pretty freaking cool. Here's Qui-Gon Jinn. And he's pretty cool too. I think I might just do 140 on both of them. So here we have it. You know, I was curious about this submission. I noticed a pattern here. A number of these cards look like they just came from abandoned bags. Like, I didn't open up Star Wars Galaxy for this 2022. Look, 2022 Star Wars Galaxy. Where did that come from? Those must have come from old bags. Pretty interesting. Buy, crack, and send to PSA. Those are sick. I wish these were PSA over tag. Plus, it's Vader, easy sell. Yeah, in theory, you could have me crack them and resubmit them to PSA. Now let's get these together. You can get into this break for $5. You don't have to trade cards for it, but trading cards is a very easy way to get into that. All right. PSA is sinking. I don't see tag being around in 10 years. Here's Mr. Hedison Vasquez. One spot in the BOA break. I mean, let's say that were true. Let's say Tag went out of business, which they probably won't. They're probably making unbelievable amounts of money right now, since this is probably one of the most lucrative business types in the world right now, is anything related to collectibles. But pretend they do go out of business 10 years from now. All that really matters is whether this was graded real harsh into a 10. That's all that matters. And that's the way I see it. That's why, I say this all the time, that I pay attention to any grading company, CGC, SGC, PSA, BGS, they all matter. I'm not like some sort of PSA loyalist why I have to have PSA 10. And I've built some of my wealth on those ideas. So I built some of my Pokemon card collection on the understanding that it doesn't have to be a PSA 10 for it to do well. Here we have an order from NHCC. You already know. He says, jump me in the break. You got it, Mr. NHCC. I probably graded this because of you. You and everyone else who was saying, hey, we need more sexy girl cards, or some people would say we need more one-piece cards up on the table, and so I went ahead and did that. There you go. Tag is harsh grading, but offer the QR code on the back to explain the grade. I think that's great for collectors. The turnaround time is so good. PSA is gobbling up all grading companies and leaving them as is to avoid monopoly. What? They are. I don't think PSA has a monopoly. You've got CGC, which is a pretty big company, and you've got Tag grading, and I think those are decent counterweights. I think you'd probably have to argue that PSA now owns maybe 65% of the market, maybe more, maybe 75%. They don't own like 95% of the market. And here's the deal. When it comes to card grading, anyone can start up a card grading company. There's nothing stopping you from creating a card grading company. So if you want to go up against PSA, just put the pieces of equipment together and start grading. That's how Tag came about, right? Tag's around the corner. They just all of a sudden they're very popular. But there's grading companies around the world too. Like there's Get Graded, there's Ace Grading. Excuse me. There's grading now in Japan. They've got their own local grading company as well. And so, everyone's worried about them. Not worried perhaps, but you hear these accusations of them being a monopoly, and it's like, yeah, but they're not doing things that are monopolistic. They're not like blocking you from being able to get, they're not, if you start up a card grading company, they don't sue you. So I don't think that their practices are monopolistic enough. What is the return time with the Tag for 5-card submission compared to PSA? Probably a little bit faster, which is something we've been teaching people here. But of course, as more and more people figure that out, they'll get inundated with grades. Dude, I wonder how much business I've sent their way, just me by myself. Because, we get a lot of views. And so we've probably educated people on this company a lot, just ourselves. But I helped CGC too. That when CGC came out, I was like, yeah, CGC, bro. And so we did a lot for CGC, I feel. Right now, the table would probably be filled with CGC slabs, but they're filled with Tag slabs. What does that tell? I like tags. So, but a CGC would have been my other option. So I would have been doing CGC, BGS, PSA, but instead we're doing Tag, BGS, PSA. And it's because I like them. Look at this, Storming the Beach. All right, there's a nice Halo slab. I'm going to be creamy with you, dude. This is going to be pricey. Storming the Beach and the others, they were pretty hard to grade. And they're from 2007. And I think their populations will be low. So we'll probably put on a nice price on these. Let's go ahead and pick. I'm just thinking about it. I guess I need to be sure that there's no other 10s. Hold on, give me a second. Hold on. I don't get to just choose my own price. It's based off of stuff. So there are no 10s of this. That's what I thought would happen. And so I just get to kind of choose a price. And I think it's going to be 180. These were very hard to grade. And there's only one vintage top set, and it's this right here. You don't have multiple options. It is. I think Halo is a franchise that'll continue to be pretty relevant for a long time. And it's just a really, really strong, emotional pull, this old franchise. This one's called, interestingly, on the back it says Marvel. One to the Dome. That's very cool, man. So that's probably because it's a comic book image in this case, isn't it? Okay. I like One to the Dome. That's probably why I sent it out. We got the remakes happening. Just don't mention the live-action TV series of Halo and its spotless record. BGS and Tag have them crystal clear slabs. I love them. Do you mean CGC? Monkey D. Luffy. Yes, Halo did graphic novels with Marvel. Oh. All right, so we have this lovely Monkey D. Luffy slab. And he's got this weird spacesuit looking thing on. CGC, ew. I don't mind him. I don't mind CGC. I got some CGC pristines. And I've had some CGC gem mints too. People overlook it. All right, so this will be Monkey D. Luffy. And the number shall be 109. Boom, all right. What's with this outfit here? It looks like he's in a spacesuit kind of outfit. All right, we're gonna offer this card for $65. Good. Okay. Boa Hancock, and what's the other big pull? NHCC wanted this moved into a new round. I'll pull Pikachu down here for a second. Into a new round of this pack break, right? Here it is. Wait. Was it this? Hey, wait, NHCC, what was it that we were doing with your Pikachu spot? I better not mess that up. That's the Egghead Island outfit. It's a future Super Science Land. All right, here you go. All right. This is at 2 out of 6 now. And here we have Shining Mew, 1 in 13. Ooh, Mike's side's in there. Think Mike's side will snatch it? Wow, that looks really cool. Star Wars, Empire at War. So some really fun non-Pokemon cards in this tag return. Probably a badly needed thing. Not enough variety on our stream. Okay. Yeah, remember that there's other hobbies, not just Pokemon. Okay. Maybe I better double check the price on this, make sure I don't over or underprice it real fast. Star Wars, Empire at War. All right, there's no examples of it that I can see. All right, and it's a refractor, but just a refractor. So you can tell it's a refractor because of the rainbow hollow nature of it. So there is Empire at War. This guy got a 9, dude. All right, it's good. Why not? Okay. Bomber. Sephiroth 9. That's a legendary hollow. He's really cool looking. Okay. I'm really curious to see if there's any interest in these Final Fantasy cards, because I feel like Final Fantasy is a set that is definitely slower performing than some of the other sets. Okay, we've got Kylo Ren. And we've got Tuskens and their Bantha. Bantha? The Tusken Raiders. There they are. Okay. And we grab this. Very nice. Good. 8.5 and 9. He's a refractor as well. That's interesting. How you guys liking this stream so far? Is it fun watching all this stuff get priced? I think it's enjoyable because you get basically to shop from home and see some really interesting items fly by. That'll just be 20. This guy's going to be maybe closer to 38. All right. He's a main character. He's a refractor. This is just some junky card that I thought maybe was going to get a 10, but it was not going to get a 10. All right. There it goes. I remember where these came from. I made a deal with LaFlame a long time ago, maybe almost a year ago, to purchase his leftover cards. He had cards he didn't want to grade. They were like junk cards. And he got paid a pretty good amount for a decent chunk of them. I can't remember. I think I was buying them like at $100 per like unit or something. I can't remember actually. So these are just sort of like, they're like B tier cards. Some of them are C tier. Like, I think you could argue that this is a C tier card. And I just need anything to grade, just something to grade. There it is. So I just look around. And then afterwards, I pick through them and try to find what's decent in the B tier cards. You know, like these are not the mega gold border. You have 1 out of 50 cards. These are just side cards, you know. Bantha's doo-doo. Yes, he's a doo-doo card, but that's also why he's just 20 bucks. He is doo-doo. I have to agree with that. Let's go ahead and rotate some of these slabs up. We've got Tifa, Pikachu, this Pokerabra, which could just be sent to eBay. Here's Ditto Metamong. So this is fresh. Miss Beatrice just jumped into it. That's another one of our fresh breaks over here. So we got, oh, that's a giveaway. We got some nice fresh breaks. I really think the Mew's very cool, and I don't think you'll see it lasting too long. There we go. Beautiful, man. Look at all that. All right. Wow. We have some really beautiful stuff. There it is. It's good stuff, man. You know, I've been doing this for so long. I've probably helped people put together some really cool cards over time. Wonder what their collections look like today. Dark Charmeleon 9, 180. That's an expensive 9. That could almost go into 10 bucks. It's expensive than some of the 10s. Here's Shaman. Next one for me is Friday. Here's Gray Ninja. Coughing. Eevee. Here we go. The Covenant Hunter that got a 9. That's a bummer, dude. So apparently these are so expensive that you can still ask a high price for them. I wonder what they found on the card that they didn't like. Usually there's a problem near the bottom, but I'm not seeing it. I'm going to take a picture and see what they didn't like about this. Give me a second here. Since you sent most tops to the vault, would you buy the 2 boxes for cash? So I definitely right now would not buy those boxes for cash. I know eBay would, so you could send them to eBay and get paid out for sure. All right, so it considers the back bottom and back bottom right to be problematic. Let's take a quick look at the back bottom. All right. I think it's saying this thing right here. Well, that's all it takes, huh? Pretty small issue, but okay. My guess is bottom left. All right. So the tops cards. Let's take a quick look, Mr. Sean, at the tops. Give me a second here. I have been sending them off to the PSA vault, and we're gonna head into my collection. And we're gonna type in tops. Let's see what's in there so far. Because I got some that I think are still over here, but I'm about to send them off. The truth of the matter is I'm probably just going to go pop them onto eBay and leave them there for a while. All right. So here's a Spectra Squirtle, a Machamp, a Teardrop Alakazam. Is this Rainbow Foil? That might be Silver Foil. Topps Chrome Moltres, Topps Chrome Dragonite, Pokemon the Movie 2000. Could it get worse? That's the surprise Pikachu face. So you can see some Topps the Movie 2000 going in there. Here's a Brock. This is actually a Hollow Ghastly, but you can barely tell from their picture because they just don't take pictures very well sometimes. Foil Pikachu's Rescue, the movie A New Friend. Here's a Teardrop Jigglypuff 10. There's a Charizard 9. Here's a Topps Foil Blastoise. That's really nice. The Blastoise is nice. Here's a Rainbow Pidgeot, and I think it's a 9, yeah. This one's really special. So this is the Cosmic Pattern Ekans from Series 1, so that's super rare. Chrome Kadabra, here's A Mother's Concern, here's Teardrop Meowth, here's Foil Clefairy, Tops Wigglytuff, here's Foil Mewtwo, here's Foil Mew, Mr. Mime. What else we got? We got a bunch, I guess. Oh, no, see, these aren't available for sale. These are from a long time ago. These ones down here that don't say vaulted, these have actually returned to us. But these ones that say vaulted, they're available. So I might just be able to show you what I have someday. And speaking of which, can I list these differently? Look at this. I like this. So you can see them like this too. That's cool. These are all mostly 10s. And they're all hollow, even if the picture doesn't look like it. That one's not a hollow. That's a die cut. Pretty cool, huh? So what's really going on, I have so many slabs that I'm worried about natural disaster, home fire, or theft. One of these problems. And I'm starting to decide to move some of these cards out of my home just to diversify how I do security on my cards so that I'm doing it in more than one way. All right, did you enjoy that? Safe time? I'm going to be buying a fresh safe, and I think I'm going to go with one that's going to cost me about $10,000. So whatever you guys buy right now goes into the safe fund. We got to put 10K together for a safe. It's a lot of money. And yeah, I plan on buying a nice safe, and it's just going to be a nice safe. I'm just nervous to sell the boxes on eBay and get scammed. Honestly, I don't think you'd get scammed. It's not, well, it's not like it couldn't happen. It could happen, but are the odds high that it happens? I don't think the odds are high. But, you know, you could send them over here and do store credit. You don't have to spend the store credit really fast if you're interested in store credit. Maybe you find a break here and there. Maybe you find, I don't know, maybe do a box break that you're really interested in. Maybe we do a pack split. Maybe you see a slab one day that you really like this guy right here. This one's really good, I think. Here we go. Although it's not a Pokemon card, this is one of the coolest items we've had on the table in a while. Here we are. Look at that. That's very good. Now, that's just an example, but we've always got cards grading, so you might find something nice. I've got more Pokemon cards to grade in general. Did you know that? It's so cool. I know I'm slobbering over it. Yeah, that one's nice. I've got more Topps cards to grade. You want to see? Like this guy right here. Hey, how's it going, Mr. LaFlame? How's it going, man? All right. Very nice. Trump said there's going to be low interest rates or Jeremy Powell's just going to have to go to jail. Did you catch that? Jeremy Powell came out. He was talking about how he's being indicted for... There you go. That could be a 10 right there. See that? Wow. Are you a little bit jealous, Sean? You should be. I can't believe I have this box, but there's only a few packs of it left. Most of them already graded 9. Yes, I saw the video. So funny. Trump really wants those low interest rates, man. He is not playing softball. God, dude, it'd be so nice if this graded 9. So I will not be sending this to tag grading. They actually do grade way too harsh. They grade way too harsh, and these Topps cards require some luck almost to get 10s on. So I'm not going to risk it. I shouldn't have even risked this card. Can't believe it got a 10. Yeah, they definitely hand out very harsh 10s. Low interest rates for what? So people can borrow money who can't afford it, lol. Well, that's a great question, Stephen. But Stephen, you know, before COVID happened, interest rates were in the fives, and COVID was 7 years ago. Why are interest rates still in the sixes? Yes. And, 1% difference makes a big deal on whether or not people buy a home. Because a home really needs to get pretty well under 7% to be considered an asset rather than a liability, right? Because you're going to be paying that, you could be paying that 6 or 7% for a long time, getting it down to like 5.4, 5.5. It's a big deal. So, because inflation is still up, says P. Brad. You might be right, and I think lowering interest rates might continue to keep interest rates slightly elevated, but I don't know. I think the bigger problem is that the government handed out all these specialty loans, and there's all that cash flowing about, moving about, pushing the price of everything up. What can you do about that at this point? You know what I mean? So it's like I think the price of the goods are going to remain high because of that. That really huge handout the government did during COVID. And keeping people from being able to buy homes today isn't going to solve that. I think, at least. It might crash the economy even. All right, off to PSA. Yeah, so I would be very open-minded to if the government lowered the interest rates down to like 5.5. I think that would probably help people buy homes. If the government did that and Trump banned like corporations from buying homes, don't you think that would be like a perfect combo? Because that's the other thing Trump said. He said he wants to ban corporations from buying homes, and then he wants the interest rates down. Ultimately, that's good for normal people like me and you. Here's a Ratu. Here's a Whirl. That's why 50-year mortgages are also insane. Yeah, they're pretty interesting. It doesn't solve the real problem where there's too many people, not enough homes. You need to build more homes. But yeah, I mean, maybe stopping the corporations from buying the homes is a good idea as well. There's no crap. Trump was actually serious with that comment. I wouldn't say that. He seems pretty serious all the time. He does not seem to bluff a lot. If you have not noticed, he seems to, sometimes he actually does what he says. We are. Sometimes he'll say something and everyone will dismiss it like it's crazy, and then he'll go actually do it. And everyone's like, whoa. All right, look at that. Nice. But not always. Not always. I think sometimes he's spitballing. All right. Would you guys like one of these pack fresh cards to go into the binder break? I'm going to put Parasect and Poliwhirl and Zubat in because I'm probably not going to grade those. But let's put a nice one in too. Let's put in Raichu. So here's the binder break. And the binder break is going to increase in volume by a total of 4 cards. We shall add it with these other Topps cards. All right, this is too spicy now. I just don't. So this is a $40 break you can get in here. And if you get pulled, you get all these cards. $240. I think this is looking like a nice fat bag. Gossifleur, Mew, Crobat, Heatran, Caracosta. I wonder if I actually put a bunch of cards in a binder for you, if that would be a better way to host these breaks. Damn, that was a lot of Topps cards right there. There's a Halo Topps card. Caterpie, Poliwag, Ponyta, Nidoran, Beedrill, Victini, Empoleon, Burmy, Pidgeot, Poker, which should really be up here. Okay, wow. You should sequentially grade the Poliwhirl evolutions. Ooh, that would be fun, but I'd prefer to do that with holos. In no world would any president ban corporations from buying homes. BlackRock would have Trump assassinated. Well, somebody did try to assassinate Trump, but I think it was just somebody who didn't like him. And then I don't know if BlackRock would assassinate Trump any more than, the next corporation or special interest group that doesn't like him. So I don't think he's making his decisions based off of who might assassinate him. But you're right. I think that there are people out there who hate him so much they'd like to kill him. So that's probably a fair thing to say. Okay, let's see. They already shot at him once. Charlie Kirk got killed. I'll put this in the trade stuff bag, I guess. I don't know where to put this. Pretty sure that kid was in BlackRock commercial. Oh, yeah, that people pointed that out. He was like in a BlackRock commercial. I forgot about that little detail. And then there was a lot of, oh, he's an assassin for them. Now, extra shipping, says Andy Man. What time is it? 6:30. The queue is open. If you guys would like to open any cards, or you can just keep watching me price up our tag return. And we could talk about anything you guys would like to talk about today. General Grievous Refractor 9. Damn, dude. This one's so cool. But you can see why I graded 9 right down there. Look. That's mega off center. Why did I even send this one in? Maybe I sent it in knowing it was going to get a 9. But I sent it in because it was so cool. And I told myself, even though it's going to grade 9, somebody's going to enjoy this card. The binder would be extra shipping. Yeah, you're right. I think the binder would make it a little more expensive. There we go. It's an interesting idea, though, isn't it? A binder, an actual binder. How high do you think silver will go? It's popping off. Ooh, what's the price of silver today? People have long said that silver was underpriced. Silver price is at $84. Nice. I have no clue, actually. I have no clue. I guess I don't have a strong opinion on it. It is. We're going to say 45. Maybe I should be selling all my silver right now. Here's Lord Vader. Whoa. Lord Vader and his troopers. Wow, I would have loved to have a 10 on that. That is one cool card. Look at that, everybody. Wow, and it looks so fantastic in the tag holder. That's crazy cool looking. You guys want to zoom on that one? That's so crazy, man. So if this is graded 10, I'd probably be asking some ridiculous price on it just because of how cool it looks. That is one cool artwork. Doesn't look as good the minute you put it in this low quality sleeve. You gotta make sure if you buy something like this, you buy one of those high quality sleeves, okay? And we're gonna ask 50 for the Darth Vader card. He's just really good. Let's see. We're gonna close this. Wow, are there none of these? Oh, there is one for sale for $400. Man, that's a nice looking card, but we can't be doing 400. All right. That's for a 10, not for a 9. Now here's Cowboy Tifa, and she got a 9. All right. Gonna cry now. Yo, General Grievous, appreciate the 9s. Yeah. Gonna have to, because that's all I got. Tag said, you get a 9, and you get a 9, you get a 9. Everything gets a 9. Say 25 on this. Be sure to check out our Discord server. You can shop in there for slabs that have already been priced. You can scan this QR code to get to that Discord server. So we are pricing slabs up all the time. And you're able to check on those prices right over here. Okay, they're in the channels called 9s and Lower, Pricey Slabs, All Slabs. Check those channels out. All right, just $25 on this 9 Tifa. Damn, dude. Look, this got a 75, but it looks like it's got like a warp right in the center of the card. So that must have been it. Yeah, some kind of weird thing. Best day ever, huh? That's the name of it. Best day ever, 7.5. I'm not having the best day ever when my SpongeBob cards grade so poorly. Okay. Best day ever, SpongeBob shall be $16. Wow. And then over here we've got Far-Fetched 10 from the Dialga half deck. He's technically just a common Far-Fetched. Gotta start collecting them graded 7s. They're popping off any day now. Does Tag do 9.5s? No. All right. So how do you guys feel about all these cool slabs you've seen? Any of them pulled your eyeballs one way or another? So I'm betting this far-fetched is somewhere between $45 and $65. 008. Boom. None for sale. Let's check sold, maybe. None for sale. All right, I can't find any. By the way, Mister, the Arisas are sold for 2.5K. Sweet. Congratulations, man. I'm so glad to hear that. There it is. I had a lucky day, too. You want to see a card I sold? Check this out, man. Pokemon card market's hot. Actually, you know, it's so hot, it makes me question whether I was supposed to have sold it. But I want to show you this because I showed the morning time stream this. I guess I didn't show you guys the nighttime stream. So I got this sale today. This one right here for $2,000. Oh my God, please load. There it is. Look at it. It said the PSA estimate was only $390, but it just sold for $2,000. So don't always trust what PSA tells you about a card. Pretty cool. And here's what's so neat about that card. When I bought him... Damn, you undersold. Hey. Hold on. Should say Seal DOS. Fuden? There it is. So I have two of them. One which was purchased for $340, and the other which was purchased for $370. Not bad, huh? Yeah. From $370 to $2,000. What does that make it? It's like a ×5 jump or something like that. It's crazy. I think it's like ×5. So that's a good sale. Makes me question, though, should I have even sold it? All right. Now we have an order for Mr. Ivan Rodriguez. He's going to be picking up this cute little SpongeBob, I suspect. Here it is, SpongeBob. Ooh. Okay. I'm not sure if you saw my pack spot. I bought one. I believe we did take care of that. That was Todd Peters. And what pack was that for? That was for this one right here, right? But it went off, didn't it? You know what? I didn't mark that it went off, did I? Hold on. I should have marked that in the breaks channel. So breaks history. All right, I'm going to mark it down here. Booster box pack break. Ancient Origins. And the person who pulled it was Jesus Aguilera. There it goes. All right, Mr. Pizza says, yes, was I too late? You were not too late. Yeah, you made it into that, and then you promptly were not pulled out of it. Mr. Jesus Aguilera was pulled out. You should be able to rewatch it a little earlier in the stream. So if you rewind the stream, you should run into that. Sorry about that. Here you are. We're running another round of it, though, if you want to get into round 2. NHCC has purchased one spot into round 2. Let me show you how much Ancient Origins is left, everybody. Here it is. So that's spot 27 claimed. 20. I should do this, too, so I can see how it was purchased. I used to do this. You know, so that's spot 27. There's 9 spots left. 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36. And I could create a schedule saying, it's got to be done by X time period, and then the box just goes off. I feel like that's a bad idea because I feel like the packs are too expensive to do that. But I've thought about it, and, we could do a rule like if the rest of the box doesn't sell off, then we just leave those packs sealed or something like that. We could do a trick like that if we wanted. I think we did that one time with the 151 surprise, remember? But then again, when it comes to these older box breaks, we usually know that we have to wait a long time before they go off. So, all right, let's see. What's next? Ivan Rodriguez is done. He's taken the cute little card, the SpongeBob card. And now we're back to no orders in the queue. Just a little bit of a slow day. It's not a big deal for me. I just finished selling a $2,000 slab on eBay. So I am in okay shape. Here's Hello Kitty. It's kind of crazy, though, isn't it? Ah, the Nido King. 2 spots left on Nido King. Ooh. And here's Moltres for $70. Let's see. So I say we start getting some of these fresh cards off into the All Slabs channel. So let's do that. We got Miltank 9. Let's replace that with the Farfetch 10. Well, actually, where's the other Tifa? Let's get both Tifas at once. Tifa 10, Tifa 10. This is Hello Kitty 10. It's called Blau Party Kuromi. Now, that's Blau Party Hello Kitty. I think they mislabeled this one. Now, these companies with the mislabeling. And here's a Star Wars. Here's a Giratina. Ah, here's a nice one. Mewtwo. That's nice. I like that. So we got Mewtwo. Okay, good. I like this. Let's get it. Miss Alexis says going to be late. Oh my God. She's going to be here when I'm trying to go to bed. All right, let's take a picture. Oh, not in the 9s or lower, but in the All Slabs 2 channel. We have 2 All Slabs channels going on right now. That's for the purpose of helping me with my alphabetical ordering. Tifa and Tifa. That goes in box number 4. And these this is Hello Kitty with an H. Really, it should have been in here, actually. And then this Mewtwo. I almost feel like this Hello Kitty ought to just go right off to, this ought to just be sent off to the vault. Get that out of here. If they've mislabeled that slab/card, how can we guarantee that the grade is correct? That's a great question, actually. I guess, I don't know. Because you're asking what's the issue. Did they give the wrong card the wrong label, or did they just name it wrong? Yeah, that's a great question. I'm going to put it over here, though, so it won't matter. All right. You're asking too many questions, bro. Okay, what do we have here? Skarmory. This is one of those Diamond Dialga half decks, which apparently you can't buy those anymore. That's very fascinating. Used to be able to buy those. All right, Skarmory. Popping this over here. Let's see. Oops. We'll test this out in here. PSA 10. Dialga half deck. Skarmory. And there's none for sale. So I just kind of get to choose my own price. Similar to the Farfetch, Dialga is going to be $45. All right, cool. Those are some vintage 10 Pokemon cards graded very harshly by Tag. Here is a holographic Magnezone. Magnezone, not super popular. He's got a nice swirl down here, though. Look at that. Solid card. Probably going to be, what do you think? Just under 100, probably. Magnezone. Dialga, half deck. Okay, no, he's about 100, actually. He's about a solid 100. All right. Put this here. 100. Good. No, this is Patrick. Oh, my God. This card is so great. I feel that this card should also be listed directly onto eBay. We did that earlier. The Halo card, though. You like it? It's nice, huh? All right. So this card shall go to eBay. All right. Do you like what I do in the background? Please stay up. Don't fall down. So we just need to take a quick picture. See, look at that. We can't have that. Stay up there. Don't fall down. Let me move the camera off to the side and bring out a different camera. Is this the Krusty Krab? I have 1 in a 10 in my bag. You have different foil, though. What? What do you have? So let me take a picture of this. Zoom. Click. And click. And click. All right, there we go. We've taken some pictures. Nice. I'm finding that eBay will gobble your slabs up really fast. That's what I'm finding. Not always, but sometimes. And so for cards that look like they'll be maybe too unpopular on the table to sell quickly, we are hitting up eBay at the same time. I have a Tag 10 Halo card in my bag. Tag 10 Halo. All right, so let's get this bad boy listed real fast. We're going to get them listed, okay? I think we sent these out and probably got them back before other people did. Tag 10. No, this is Patrick. And it's going to say Topps Chrome SpongeBob. Number 67. Hey, 6-7, huh? Yeah, we got our graded cards back faster than people who sent it off to PSA. If you think about it, unless they paid for like express grading, which means they overpaid for grading. And that shows up in the price of the card, probably. Okay, we're going to upload those lovely photos we just took. Good. They look nice. Category, condition, item specifics. Franchise, definitely SpongeBob. Description. Do you guys love this AI description thing that eBay does now? Saves you some trouble. Pricing. So the price on this card is really what we've come here for. We're going to go with the flat $100 for this because these square cut cards can be so difficult to grade. Oh, there we go. Shipping cost is going to be free, so we don't include the shipping price, and then list your item. All right, there we have it, guys. Is this the Krusty Krab? Looks like there is something missing. What's missing? Shipping. Oops. Let's see. Oh, it wants me to select a shipping type. Okay. All right. Okay. And try that again. List. And there we have it. All right. So this item is for sale on the table, but we have it dual listed on eBay too. What an interesting idea. All right. Snatching this. So we have $100 on eBay or 97 on the table. And we'll put an E on the left corner. E for eBay. We'll start saying E for eBay on these. Cool. I will let him rotate and see if we have any fresh orders. Today's been a slow day for sure. Slow Monday, huh? I'm not anticipating a fast Tuesday then. All right, we have a Miss Alexandra from earlier today. I'm going to hit refresh over here. Definitely a slow day today. What time is it, by the way? It's 6:51. We're going to keep going then. We got plenty of time together. There's still time to place an order if you'd like to. Here's Duraludon for $25. Now, I think he's one of those fresh, he's one of those rotation cards. Here's Pidgey 9. Cubone 10. Amazing. Duskull 10. Sephiroth 9. Hunter 9. Oh, man, that card needs more time on the table for sure. I'm going to put the Miltank 9 away. All right, so these cards shall come down. The 9s will come down soon. All right, we want to go ahead and put these into the 9 box. We have so many good 9 slabs for sale, and now we have even more. There it is. They just sell a little slower than 10s do. If you're looking to have some fun, but you're really not sure what to buy, you can always try your shot at a random slab out of the Pokey Shuffle. Here's Golem 9. How many more 9s can we find? Probably like a million, right? That's a 9.5 giveaway. Here's a Tifa 9. I have a Tag 10 Halo card in my bag. Tag 10 Halo card. This. Okay. Oh, man, that looks good. Just sad that it got a 9. I probably would have offered that for like $300 on a 10. And I bet you it would have sold. Or we could have done a break on it and the break would have finished. One or the other. But it is a 9, so it's going to be very cheap. That's the way the cookie crumbles. I'll take that $24 snake. $24 snake 9. Snake 9. What's he referring to? There's a snake. Is it one I just put in the box? I'm not sure which one you're referring to. Ow. Shaman, you mean? No, Shaman's not 24. He must mean Golem. Golem's 24. What do you think about all this stuff going on in the news? Mr. Isaac, we were just talking about it. People are getting riled up. What do you want to talk? I can talk about whatever you want. Do you want me to get riled up? I'll get riled up for you. I'm about to buy that. Let's see. Ivan Rodriguez says, Tag 9, Golem. Golem is gone. He's a nice card, isn't he? You want me to get riled up? Tell me your feelings on it, Mr. Isaac. Be Michael Savage for a minute. Michael Savage, the enemy within. Michael Savage. The enemy within. They're trying to force feed your kids the agenda. I don't know. Ooh, General Grievous. I still remember that from my teenage years and childhood. This is Michael Savage. All right, let's see. Yeah, I guess I was like a kid / teenager listening to the news and Bill O'Reilly and Michael Savage. I always had an interest in what was going on in the world. I still do. I feel like, how can you become wealthy if you don't know what's going on in the world? You have to know. Half the job is knowing what's going on, you know? And the other half is making a prediction on it. Okay, I'm going to edit this message and say Golem sold. Golem. Yeah, half the prediction, half the job is knowing what's going on, and the other half is then making a prediction on it. That's what it's all about. Okay. All right. Yes, I still caught the live. It's Dennis Manieri. Hey, Dennis the Menace. Mister, did you say they made a sequel series to the old anime Ronin Warriors, also known as Samurai Troopers, in Japan? No, but I don't know any of that stuff. Honestly, I personally think a lot of state actors and companies are using AI and phone simulation addiction to their advantage to create conflict and influence the populace, and none truly has control. I don't know about all that. But, you know, the fraud in Minnesota is pretty bad. It honestly is so much money. It makes you wonder, how could no one have known? How could no one have whistleblowed? How could nobody up higher could have been like, oh, yeah, where's all this money coming from? There's, you know, as information dump after information dump comes out about truly what happened, and not just like speculation, but like actual like reports. It looks so damning, dude. It's like at a level of organized crime, except it's not organized crime. It's like welfare fraud, I guess. I don't know what to call it. It's pretty bad. I want my money back. Hey, Mr. Jesus. He's jumping in again to the Nido King sublist this time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see. We'll put you over here. Michael Savage. There you go. Here you are. Well, there's one spot left to the Nido King sublist. They knew, it's like when a group of people rob a Gucci store and the DA lets them off, but somewhere there is a kickback from it to the DA. Yeah, does that happen? Nido King. Do you like what I did there? Is that cool? All right. Mister, you're not supposed to notice. You are racist. No, stop with the noticing. That's right, I'm a noticer. I've noticed. What? All right. Ooh, Duraludon. Okay, thank you, Mr. Jesus. Jesus, man, you're the big buyer today. You bought 2 whole spots today. The whole stream is yours. Today was a very, very slow evening stream. I'm putting you in here, Mr. Jesus. Same with NHCC. Same with Mr. Who else? What's your last name? I can't remember your name. Hold on. Let's jump back over here. I'll be able to see it over here. And let's expand this. Mr. Ivan as well. Todd Peters. That's what I was trying to remember. Mr. Hedison. Mr. Ivan Rodriguez, who's been a bit busy beaver today because he's got some fresh slabs going up there, some cool 9s. No way. Haha, thank you, mister. Yeah, we'll put you up here on this giveaway today just because it's been a slow day. Let's hand out a couple winners from the audience as well. That's Mr. Russ. Here's J-Dog Gaming. Here's PDX. Here's Ivan. Oh, you're getting on twice, Mr. Ivan. This is a nice little giveaway here. Here's Thomas Hogue. All right, there we go. Oh, yeah. It's weird because it seems like each side is scared of what the other will do, and there's a struggle for power. I think it's just a pendulum, though, that swings from side to side. Where my country gone? Where my country gone? I don't know, dude. I think, yeah. It's not good, is it? It's not good. There is a fight being had. Maybe not physically, but there is a real fight being had. And it's not like, to a certain extent, it's not even ideological. It's literally just a fight for land. Like, do you want to have to pay taxes for someone else to live off of your taxes for the rest of your life? Well, then, congratulations. Welcome to Minnesota. It's like, why am I not free to associate with my people, Americans, people who have been here for a while now? Why do we have to bring in huge amounts of people to just put them on welfare? Like, okay, let's say you bring in huge amounts of people. I would love for you to bring in millions and millions of people who are net tax contributors. Why does it got to be people that go straight on to welfare? But then also, they do like the biggest fraud in history in our country, like in 2 seconds. Like, my God, dude. I don't know what the Democrat platform is at this point, other than calling me racist for not liking that. It's like, bro, that's how it feels. That is how it feels right now. It's like, it's very common sense to not want to be part of that, and to not be affected by it, you know, to not be a victim of the fraud, because everyone who pays taxes is a victim of it. And even Democrats, there's no way Democrats, just regular Democrats, there's no way they like it. Their heads got to be spinning a little bit, going like, what the? You know what I mean? I bet if all politicians got investigated to look for any laws they broke, we would need all new ones. See, that's the thing, Dennis. I don't even think that's true. I think it's really concentrated into a few areas. The reason the Somalians got away with this is because everyone was afraid to investigate them and be called racist. And because their group is so insulated and, you know, like just concentrated and unwatched, but also probably the people who are getting voted for by them and maybe a lot of money to run for office, they don't have a reason to investigate them either. It's like a bad system all over. It's a bad incentive structure. Why should Tim Walz look into the fraud when he's getting rich from it? Why should Tim Walz look into the fraud when he runs for vice president and casually collects $36 million right after he gets chosen? It benefits him. How did Ilhan Omar go from like having $45,000 to a net worth of $30 million? All of that was just gained naturally. Her husband's just a really good businessman. So I don't know. It's a very bad feeling, and I think a lot of Americans are just holding their breath, waiting for justice or something. But there's this sort of eepy feeling like it's not going to happen. Like, hey, can we just at least have the money back? Even no, that money's been spent. It's been wired out of the country. It's been apparently it's taken out of the country in big suitcases full of cash. So I heard that one too. Big suitcases loaded with cash. Your taxpayer dollars. And it's not happening in one place either. It's going to be, you're going to find the same fraud in other places too. It's just really outrageous. But it's like, this was bound to happen, right? There's no way this wasn't going to happen. That's the frustrating part. Like, I could sense it was going to happen. I knew this kind of stuff would happen. Here's Patrick's Fishnets. Damn, dude. That's a crazy card. I heard the government's halting financial assistance to Minnesota. Imagine just being a regular Minnesotan, and because of this social experiment, which is what it is, it's a social experiment. You now do not have welfare that was meant for you because your family paid into it for a long time, maybe multiple generations, right? Like my grandparents are here in Missouri, and so there's my grandparents, they paid in, my parents paid in, and I'm 37 paying in. So imagine you've been paying into this system for maybe 3 generations, maybe 4, and then somebody who got here yesterday steals $9 billion in fraud because Tim Walz wants to win the VP election. I don't know. He just couldn't possibly look into it. No. He needs help to look into it. Dude, some kid on YouTube figured it out in like one day. He just went door to door. He's like, why are there like 12 of the same services in here and you're all empty? Here we are. Shut up. Go away. Don't look. And then a day later, the Leering Center is broken into. And what does the thief steal? All the documentation that would prove that they're guilty. How convenient. It's just like that took a guy on YouTube one day to figure out. They can't do it over the course of 10 years over there. It's too difficult. I don't know, dude. It's really obvious. And I don't know. That's what people want to talk about, I guess. Mike DeWine is doing the same thing Tim Walz is, but with Haitians. Well, maybe it's a playbook, Maybe people realize there's a system in place and it's ripe for taking advantage of. So how do you even keep up with it all? Like, I guess you would have to investigate every state. You'd have to investigate Missouri. You'd have to investigate California. I'm sure they won't even let you. They probably do stuff to try and block that, but I don't know. Some states are much larger than others. Missouri doesn't have that many people. It's just got like St. Louis and Kansas City, basically. The rest of it's cornfields. Welcome to Missouri. All right, I love the fishnets, Patrick. I think it's a hilarious card. Meanwhile, Cena's having trouble finding fraud. They call the places, and if they answer, they ask if they're doing fraud. Hey, you didn't steal, did you? No, of course not. Oh, good enough. Here we are. Very nice. Here's, hey, pal, you just blowing from Stupidville? Stupid town. Such a funny moment. We're going to save $40 on that. All right. No one gets arrested. They cover their own pizzas, both sides. Yeah. It's really demoralizing as an American to feel like calling yourself an American when you've got all this controversy going on, all these sort of like defeating things going on. You feel like the country is basically falling apart to a certain degree, and you can't even agree on what the country is. You have one group who I think just kind of hates the country, like you're burning up the flag. Why burn the flag? That's like saying you don't want it to even exist. That's too far. Here you are. I usually, I compare that to marriage. So if you're in a marriage and you got serious problems in a marriage, you don't take the photos of you and your wife and burn them up. That doesn't solve anything. That just heads you toward divorce. It means you don't want to be together anymore. So, you get one group that just, they hate the founding of the country. Oh, the founding fathers were evil slavers. America is slave history. We're going to need reparations. We took California from Mexico and we owe it to them now. And so their whole perspective on the country is that it's fundamentally bad and doesn't have a right. And we owe reparations to everyone in the world. And Columbus Day is evil, actually. And there's just this never-ending, like Thanksgiving's evil and the Trail of Tears. There's just this never-ending list of grievances instead of seeing it as a more like realistic thing. All countries work that way. They all kick each other in the nuts multiple times. If you're not nut kicking, you're the one getting kicked in the nuts. And eventually borders are drawn, and that's the end of it, Eventually borders are drawn, and there's a little bit of peace until everyone starts nut kicking again, right? Like Russia's trying to kick Ukraine in the nuts. That's what's going on. China just said they're going to take... Hey, look at this one. Look how simple that label looks. One of the dome, tops halo. But anyways, so you're supposed to be able to feel proud about your country, and you're supposed to be able to look to your left and your right and say, hey, these are my fellow countrymen, and we're in this thing together. We have this shared thing together that we care about. So, we're going to take care of it, and we're going to fight for it. We just, we don't have that, it feels like. It really feels like a different country every time. Let's see, MSNBC has had 33 seconds of coverage on Minnesota. I worry about the push toward democratic socialism. It will not end in socialism. Yeah, well, I mean, the welfare fraud happened because of socialism. So because we have actually some of the most generous welfare in the entire world, I know people don't like to hear that, but it's true. Since we actually have some of the largest, most well-funded social structures in the whole world, even compared to Europe, it creates these openings for stuff like the Minnesota daycare and health services fraud. That's what happens. And so we have like these huge, well-funded systems to be really taken advantage of by people who don't respect it and they don't have any shame. They say, I don't care. I'm just taking care of me and my group, which is not the same as all Americans, And that's what happens. It's like having a country within a country, separatists. And it is a problem. This is one of the challenges for multiracial, multi-religious groups is when times are hard, people start splitting into their tribes and saying, all right, we just look out for each other, right? Not the whole group, just each other. And that's a story of the whole world. The whole world is everyone drew borders and said, I'm Russia. And then this guy over here said, I'm Germany. And another group said, I'm France. And we're different from each other. And I'll kill you for the resources. And that's been the history of the world, is all these borders. The Enlightenment has been thinking that, hey, let's all just mix together. It's going to be great. It's going to work. Kumbaya, your God, my God, our God. We can all swap wives and we'll let the village raise the children. So that's been the Enlightenment. That's the experiment. How well is that going? I don't know if it's going that well. There's a population decline. Everyone's poor. There's still war. It's boiling down into like these, China and its network and then America and its network rivaling each other for like global dominance, for resources. I don't know. People are having a worse family experience, less homes than their grandparents had. Everyone's divorcing, or you can't find a girlfriend at all. It's a fascinating thing. It's always a struggle for resources in the end, and there's still not enough resources. The experiment hasn't made you wealthy and prosperous, is what I'm trying to tell you. So how is the experiment going for you? Is it such a good thing, And which of the experiments is your favorite? Which ones do you think contribute to your life? Which ones do you think actually detract from your life, if there's any? It's the problem with bringing people into a country who have no ties to the country. Well, yeah, but that's how immigration works. So, immigration, you bring in people who don't have a tie to the country. But immigration is generally not a bad idea. Here's the thing. If you're just bringing in one group of people, that's not very diverse. And the other thing I would have to say is if you're just bringing them in and putting them onto welfare, that's just foreign welfare, but it's in your backyard. I guess you do it in your backyard rather than sending it. Like, we could have just sent a bunch of money. We could have just sent $9 billion to Somalia. Why didn't we just do that? We said, bring them over here and let them vote for Tim Walz, then give them $9 billion. And so there is a clear incentive structure to have it work that way. People go, oh yeah, I like that. That's very good for me, actually. My name's Tim Walz and I'm in power now. You know, so it's an incentive structure, and you have to, as a citizen who pays for the fraud, you have to go, wow, maybe this is a bad incentive structure that we should change, because if we don't, it's going to keep happening. This won't be the first time. It'll happen again and again. And, you know, the moment that the politicians change hands and it's a different group, it'll just happen all over again. It'll just be considered normal or something. It'll be like, hey, that's what you do. That's the normal thing to do now. You don't have to normalize this. This is one of the things I kind of teach on this channel, is that up to a certain point, taxes are necessary. They're like a necessary evil. But after a certain point, taxes start to look an awful lot like the government wants to do slavery, right? So if another man takes 50% of your income away, how are you not his, you know, like his slave? He says, don't worry, I won't take more than 50, because if I do, you might do a revolution. But I'm going to take 50% of your labor and do what I want with it. How are you not that guy's slave? You should always demand to be free. And I think that that's actually one of my morals, is to be free. So I don't think people think about that enough, because the government's kind of figured out a formula. They go, I can take 50% of this guy's income, and then I can print money, and that's not enough for them to do a revolution. So, but now you see where your money goes, and it's like, damn, dude, it goes toward everybody but the taxpayer. And it's so sad. And the taxpayer can't afford a home, can't get a girlfriend, can't go to school, can't get a car, can't get health care. You can afford miserable Taco Bell that gives you colon cancer and cookies, and you can watch the Hub and play your video games and then crumple up and die of disease or something. You know what I mean? And that's your share of the American dream or something. I don't know, you know? I work with the guy that's from Ireland and one from Venezuela. Both of them say we complain way too much about our politics, says Mr. Dennis Manieri. Perhaps you're right, Mr. Dennis. Maybe too much complaining and not enough Pokemon card opening. However, I will say tonight's been kind of a slow night. There haven't been any orders. No, I shouldn't say that. They've all been slab orders, haven't they? We've sold a couple slabs today. Here we go. Let's see. Look at these slab sales. We got a couple slab sales in today. We are. But I think it's been kind of a slow day overall. We are. All right. I'll get a couple more slabs priced, and then we wrap it up here. Would you guys like to share any last thoughts? What's on your mind, guys? We don't have to talk about what's going on in the news. We can talk about anything at all. Okay, so here's some more of these Halo cards. They did so bad. I sent so many Halo cards in as part of this submission, and they all did bad. My God, they did bad. Look how many more bad Halo cards I have. The whole submission's just bad Halo cards. Look, so look at all these. All got 9s. That's crazy. They're all 9s. I'm so lucky that the Holo got a 10. All right. What do you think about the TCG market we'll do this year? All right, so let's look at the facts. I don't think that we're in a free fall in the economy. You might have a negative-sided opinion or a positive-sided opinion on the economy, but fact of the matter is the economy is not in a free fall. It's not collapsing. Pokemon card prices were pushed incredibly high. Pokemon's probably printing at very high capacity. Everyone's just spent all their money on Pokemon cards. They got a lot of high-priced cards, a lot of new record prices. We're in the 30th anniversary, which means we're going to get some incredibly good Pokemon card sets, I believe. That's my suspicion. And we're on our way toward a new Pokemon game. Usually, from my experience, the first few sets up from a new Pokemon game do the worst. And then I really don't see the United States getting into like World War III. I know people joke about that, but actually I think it's the other way around. I think the USA is looking very dangerous, and people are going, "Oh, I guess I won't get into a fight with them." So the United States is looking okay. I don't think China wants the smoke. Russia can't even hold off Ukraine. Russia's struggling with Ukraine. I really believe that. China wants Taiwan, but Japan just elected a hardcore conservative. So I don't know how that'll turn out for China. And I think that they could deplete a lot of their resources that way. The USA just broke up a China-Russia-Cuba alliance in Venezuela. So we just undid that. And I hear we're going to go after the cartel in Mexico, which I guess would disrupt, potentially would disrupt manufacturing in Mexico. I don't know. Maybe Mexico would say, we're not going to do business with you anymore. I think that would hurt their economy more than ours. So I don't think that's going to happen. And the cartel going away, what would that mean? Less Americans on fentanyl? Maybe 100,000 people don't die from fentanyl overdose. So I don't exactly think that's going to hurt the economy. So the way I see it, I think the economy is going to stay pretty stable. I actually think the economy is going to stay about the same way that it is right now. I don't think it's going to change too much. I don't think it's going to dramatically go up or dramatically go down. And I think there's even a case where it goes up. If, we get the oil from Venezuela and that goes smoothly and no other catastrophes fall, into our lap. So I think that the economy could do well. We're in a year, the last year, that Pokemon prints a set before a new game comes out. At which point we'll retest whether Pokemon can actually make a good game, because they keep putting out stinkers. Despite the stinkers, they're rolling in money, Pokemon is. The demand for their games is high. So I would predict this to be a good year for Pokemon cards. And you might look at cards getting their prices pushed up just slightly. I would be thinking a lot about the Sword and Shield alt arts. And then I would also be thinking about the XY alt arts. I think vintage is so high priced, you just got no chance. You could collect 9s or lower. And then I would be wondering a lot if the current era, Scarlet Violet, was overprinted or not, because we'll find out more about that over time. So, but this might be your time period to pick up the good Scarlet Violet cards before they get expensive. And then the 30th anniversary is going to wipe your wallet out. I bet it will. I bet it's going to be super cool. So I think this year is going to be a good year, followed by probably a slowdown next year. So that's my theory. There'll be a slowdown next year. And then you'll probably see some Pokemon card prices declining. If I would be careful about holding any Pokemon cards, it would probably be, as usual, modern. So modern's where I'm more skeptical. And then vintage can come down too. It's at a pretty high price. Logan Paul's Pikachu Illustrator is probably going to draw some news. Some Pokemon cards hit a new record price. But I don't think he'll push Pokemon cards higher than they already are. And I could see, so over the next year, I would predict like a slow Pokemon price decline and a stall. That's where we're at. But that's not the same as a crash. And I would be careful about a Scarlet Violet crash based on how much Pokemon actually prints, which is what people were doing with Sword and Shield. They were worried about overprinting. That ended up being wrong. Sword and Shield did very well in the end. It is leading the squad. And now we got population counts coming out for Scarlet Violet higher than Sword and Shield. So it's a very curious thing. But, people seem to buy and sell cards in cycles. They get tired of them, then they come back, then they get tired of them. But I don't think it's going to work that way this time for the millennials. I think they'll just keep gobbling up some of those vintage cards when they can. And I think you see a lot of probably international buyers from places like China are probably trying to buy those cards because they see them as potential investments now. But the millennials will keep getting better paying jobs as we age. We'll keep getting older. We'll keep getting retirement accounts from our parents and our grandparents or whatever. And I think you're gonna keep seeing those nostalgic cards rise. So much of the gamble is actually in the newer cards. We don't know what will happen with those over time. The factory comes to North Carolina. That's right. So we'll get a factory in North Carolina that could really beat up the scalping, this people buying up cards and holding them. We'll see what happens. The new top set is going to help. Yeah, right now I do not have a negative prediction on Pokemon cards, and we're at a point where I think they already kind of peaked in October of 2025, and they slowed down, and you might see them go back up a little bit. It's like a lifestyle that I don't think is going to ever truly go away now. There's going to be people who want to put together $1 million card collection now, that's going to be like a goal of theirs, and they're probably going to reach that goal and show it off online. And it's just one of these end game activities you have in life. It's just trying to show off the things that you own. And what you might see, what could really change a future prediction for Pokemon, is if a competitor came in and actually made a better card set or a better world or universe than Pokemon. I don't really see that happening. One Piece is cool, but it's not quite the same as Pokemon. It's a good card set. It's doing well, but Pokemon's got it beat for sure, in my opinion. But One Piece is nice. Oops, man, I got a problem with my jaw clicking. Here we are. All right, guys. Well, it is 7:24. We had a nice little night together. It's a little bit slow. We'll see if it speeds up tomorrow for Tuesday. We'll see how it goes. And don't let all the stuff about the Minnesota fraud and the ice stuff. Yeah, I don't even like that I have to think about that stuff. Don't let it ruin your day. Just enjoy your day. There's been a lot of bad things that have happened in society for a very long time. It just happens all the time. You can't let it ruin your day, okay? I like to talk about it like it's just a sport cast almost. Oh, get that jaw clicking checked out. Could maybe get lockjaw. I don't want lockjaw. All right. Oh, wow. All right, guys. I'm hopping off. That was the Monday nighttime stream. Just a bit of a slow one. I'll see you on the Tuesday morning stream. See you there, everybody.